원이다.
Hello everyone, welcome to the ESL Vainglory Cup Series. I'm Jason Kaplan, joined by the Don John. Didn't even mess it up once this time. I'm proud of myself compared to last week. We're kicking off cut number 4 this time. We have some great games coming your way, but if you missed out on cut number 3 and the games we had there, we had a pretty stompy semifinals and finals, I have to say. Collab really showing their true colors, just walking all over everyone, and Wild Panthers was the team to actually come into second place.
Yeah, Collab dominated so hardly, and actually they took it in the end versus Wild Panthers, as you just said. And interesting point for today is, though, since Unknown, they lost versus Wild Panthers in the semis on Wednesday, and today they are not even registered for the cup. So we actually...
Yeah. We changed around the whole format. So the tournament starts 2 hours earlier. The broadcast starts at the normal time of 7 p.m. or 1900 CEST. So that way we have less delays, less breaks when it comes to the matches later on down the line. So maybe that's something that they weren't aware of, but we did actually email every team telling them this. So maybe they just felt confident that they had enough points. And
it's hopefully not that reason.
Yeah.
So we will see. But it's a good thing for Collab and for all the other teams which are ranked highly up at the moment. So they actually have a chance to gain some points against Unknown, which is currently placed second in the total cup.
Actually, I want to show the brackets really quick. I just need to get them set up on my screen just to make sure we can show them cleanly for you guys at home who are curious about all the teams that are playing today. And I'll go ahead and pop that on our screen in just a few seconds when I remember what buttons to hit. Jason, you are amazing. So we have Collab up against Element in their first, well, actually their second game of the day since Collab had a bye. Fire Elements up against Eternal Darkness. Team HC up against Joe Bro. Aegis up against Red Team 2. The game we'll be bringing you now is Red Team 1 up against French Conquest. Walkers up against XCTN. House of Batiatus up against Pew 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 2. And Prodigy up against Feet Spellin in the bottom side of the bracket. So a lot of good games coming your way today. I believe we're actually almost ready. If we can go ahead and tell the teams to start this one off.
Yeah, let's start off. And as you could guess, the double scarf ban.
Yeah. Well, I think that's kind of coming into a standard kind of thing, unless you're playing something else you're really well known for. But one ban, not seeming to really change too much. But here we go. Hopping into the game, hopping into the picks, and let's see what we do have picked up for these teams.
Yeah, no one is locking yet. Still waiting on that. Looks like that 80 might go for Catherine for a moment, but let's just wait until they're actually hitting that and locking it in. We have a Cruel on jetpacks. And just to mention that for you guys, if you're watching the first time, maybe we do have a 3-minute delay, so no team can actually try to get informations on stream. So everything is fine concerning that. Team Red 1 already fully locked. Red Wolf is going for a Koshka. Looks like a Booksha actually, so maybe a Koshka on lane, starting off with a book of few lodges. And 80 is Catherine, as you can see obviously. Jetpacks on a Cruel. Maybe even starting with a Shiva Steel. We saw him doing a couple of times already. Lotus Eater as well, locking in the Kosha. And there's actually a Vox. That's quite interesting that Team Red is not going for a Vox, since he's quite often played at the moment.
Yeah, I mean, if it's not Vox, it's going to be Ringo, and most of the time it's actually been Vox.
Yeah.
But the Cruel Catherine combo. And Koshka.
I mean,
it's
triple stun, yeah.
It's triple stuns, but you're also all melee. And if you're someone like Vox, then it makes it really easy for you to kite. If you're Arden, you lock them all down the gauntlet, and they can't really do much about that.
Yes.
I don't know. This is going to be tough. And then again, Red Team 1, we can probably both say confidently that this is the team who's definitely the favorite in this matchup. If you look at past results alone, you had Red Team 1 get 3rd place in cut number 1. In cut number 2, they lost to Collab in the quarterfinals. And in the cut number 3, they lost to Unknown in the round of 32. Where on the side of French Conquest, they haven't gotten past the round of 32 once. They lost to Oak in the round of 32. They lost to, or in Cup 1, they lost in the round of 64 to an American team named Omega, and lost in Cup 3 against Wild Panthers in the round of 32. So, fortunate for them, not really having the best results, but they might be able to really show here today.
Yeah, so I think the key to this match is going to be Red Wolf and Silency in the beginning, since they are both going for the lane. Vox is on a book as well, as already guessed. Red Wolf starting with the book on Koshka and is probably laning, starting off picking his B skill as first. And we will see actually how Vox Silency is going to be able to pick up any farm versus a very, very aggressive Red Wolf with a Koshka in lane. Playing actually a wonderful skin there. So we'll see what he's going to pull off here. Meanwhile, we do have a double bully jungle system as normal. Guide Knight and Lotus Eater on the one side, and Jetpacks and AD0 on the other side. Each team one contract.
Yeah, that's kind of expected for these teams.
Yeah, for sure.
I'm curious to see, though, how's this triple stun combo going to work? Like, is this a comp that you have to do well early game? Or is this a comp that you're looking for to use, around late game?
In terms of triple stun, there's not going to be a triple stun until Jetpacks and Red Wolf are both level 6. Since Jetpacks hitting with his ult, which is his stun, and Red Wolf as well on a Yummy Catnip Frenzy, his stun as well. So we won't see a triple stun mostly early game, but late game it's probably going to be Koshka jumping in, Yummy Catnip Frenzy, maybe the carry, maybe Vox, probably Vox, and then a follow-up by Jetpacks doing Spectral Smites, Deadman's Rush. We'll see about that. Maybe even AD0 picking someone up with his A skill and stunning someone into an ult from Jetpack so he can throw that sword a bit easier.
Alright, well, this is going to be interesting to see actually how Koshka does in lane against Fox. We saw Taka doing it quite a bit in cut number 3 over on Wednesday, and Taka was honestly just impossible to kill in that lane, especially early on. But things could change this time. I'm assuming it's going to be a lot of the same, though, just because of the Book of Eulogy is able to sustain so well. The AoE you have, a little bit of action might be breaking out. Lotus Eater, though, getting caught out just a tad bit, if I can use my words correctly. But it looks like he should be fine, should be able to escape this.
Yeah, well, they basically, I believe Jetpacks and AD0, basically both are carrying already flare guns early game. They're trying to get a lot of vision in here, trying to actually closing their farming round in the jungle a bit earlier and bit faster than Team French Conquest is doing it at the moment. And so they were able actually to try to pick up a kill. At least they got one minion mine. Not minion mine, I'm sorry. One minion camp out of it. So in terms of gold, slightly ahead, but nothing much really to mention in early game. In terms of lane, you mentioned it. We have 14 last hits and 21 on Red Wolf. So it's still quite close. I mean, we're only 3 minutes in the game, so we will see actually how Red Wolf will use his book on Koshka in lane.
Yeah, and actually, what kind of build are you expecting Silency to go? Because we've seen some crystal builds, we've seen some weapon builds.
He's definitely going for crystal, and probably... well, it depends. Maybe he's going for Eve of Harvest. We see that quite famously at the moment. He might be a gank. Lotus Eater is jumping in, getting a bit of damage onto Red Wolf, getting actually a tower hit. So it's basically a trade of damage here. And to finish that off, probably going to be for going for an Eve of Harvest on Vox. Well, that's just me guessing. And maybe following up with an alternate current and a broken myth in late game. But that's just quite famous at the moment, and I'm guessing him not going to be weapon play at Vox, since versus that Koshka, that's not quite as effective.
Was it... who was the man I'm thinking of? Redemption, right? That plays it kind of odd sometimes. But again, kind of a slow-paced game, 4 minutes in. No kills coming in just yet, but I feel like Red Team 1 are more than happy to let that happen. Let themselves get their ultimates online. And the Scout Trap's really performing well when it comes to spotting out where they're going. Yeah,
I mean, you mentioned that. Like, we talked about the triple stun already, and we do see Red Wolf and Jetpacks both level 5 already, compared to Silency and Lotus Eater both only level 4 so far. So Red Wolf and Jetpacks are actually going to hit level 6 a bit faster, so they're triple stun will be ready quite early in the game, actually. So we will see if they can actually pick someone up. But it seems like that Red Wolf is going back to lane and probably hitting that level 6 quite soonish. So we do see Team Red engaging here onto Silency. A nice gank. There's a Merciless Pursuit, perfectly stacked jetpacks, Spectre's Might, and wonderful first blood there for Team Red 1. Guide Knight jumping a bit in with his Vanguard, but nothing much he could do. He was just way too far away to jump in and secure or save Silency from that first blood from Red Wolf. So Red Wolf now picking up actually already a Crucible. He is also buying some Light Shield, which is 35 shield, and probably because he is expecting Koshkar and Silency, who's playing Vox, to be heavy crystal damage. So we'll see about that. Red Wolf in a bad spot here is a bit in between of two members of Team French Conquest. He feels quite comfortable, getting a lot of damage onto Guide Knight already, but needs to back off. His team member Jetpacks is though, he's in the bush. Spectral Smite should do it, and the second kill for Team Red. Wonderful picked up. Nice patient there by Red Wolf, still kiting around. They are still looking for another pick, maybe. We'll see about that. So, Tribush area, and in terms of Scout Traps, we do have actually none. Let me check. No Scout Traps by Team French Conquest yet. Red Wolf still in lane, Jetpacks and 80 meanwhile trying to pick up the gold mine. There's a wait for it coming in, not quite connecting, only 80 is getting a bit of damage. There's Red Wolf from the behind, a nice, wonderful sword, to be honest. Wonderful stacks by Spectral Smite. He's doing so much damage with it. Is that going to be a gold miner steal by Lotus? No, not quite even. Jetpacks is finishing that off. Vanguard jumping in, securing. There's Yummy Cat and Frenzy onto Red Wolf, though. Red Wolf's getting a bit of damage. Can trade it back. His Yummy Cat and Frenzy is not up yet, so he can follow up with the damage. Spectral Smite from Red Wolf. Not quite an F from 80. No, 80 is not playing. Cruel today. I'm sorry. Jetpacks. Confusing the names there. So it's a 3-0 lead, 2.3k gold lead for Team Red. Quite dominating at the moment, actually. Red Wolf still in lane. Still feeling comfortable on that Book of Eulogies. We do have actually, yeah, as I guessed, Silency going for the Eve of Harborist. Already bought also Blazing Salve, which is granting him additional attack speed, so might go for that Alternate Current in the end.
Oh, Red Wolf, he might get caught out, but he looks like he should be back away. Yeah. Not going to commit too much. Fortunately, the ultimate was down at a Lotus Eater, so wasn't able to jump on top of him for now. But it doesn't matter. They're getting control of the jungle. Yeah. They're trying to get a little bit more aggressive. They're still down a huge amount of gold.
I mean, they picked up the gold miner perfectly, basically. So because they roamed them and Red Wolf just pushed it in, meanwhile Jetpacks could stack Spectral Smites on gold miner, and then, well, Lotus Eater needed to roam down or they would have lost it instantly, and then they picked up the kill onto Guide Knight and zero chance. Without the Vanguard, no chance with his Jetpacks and Red Wolf at the moment. So, yeah, basically picked up the gold miner quite nicely.
Well, they're getting really strong. You know, they already have a Cruel. They're already going to be strong late game.
Oh, yeah. Shiver Steel, though. Jetpacks, again. That's so famous for him. He's always aiming for that Shiver Steel early game.
Just you're not going to run from him, and
no.
Things might get a little bit more difficult. But, you know, again, like, that's one thing I want to see within teams. You know, like, they're ahead by, you know, quite a large margin, even able to pick up a kill onto Silency, and Lotus Eater might be running into his death as well as getting locked down. But they don't have the damage to back it up just yet. I think the Smite is on cooldown, so they can't really burst him for now.
Oh, Smite is up now, though. There it is. It's still up. He can still use it. That's actually...
Use it to heal so you can make sure to escape from the turret.
Sweet ace.
All right, so they get the ace. They get the 6-0 lead. Now they're going to push through and take, I would assume, at least one turret.
Yeah, they are getting one tower out of that. Vox is going to be there in a second, and minions are not pushing yet. But depends how comfortable Silency is playing that and how aggressive he's going for that. It's quite dangerous. But Red Wolf's ult is not up, so he can't lock down anyone now. Jetpacks is sticking around, waiting on his heroic perk to Shadow Empower him, which is granting him movement and attack speed. They're still there, still lurking, trying to pick up someone. Lotus Eater is the target, getting... Oh no, actually, Guide Knight gets the Spectral Smites. There's a wait for it, getting 80 quite low. He's still able to... Oh, to ult, actually surviving through that fountain.
Yeah, the double fountain.
Yeah.
We saw this, actually, there's triple. We saw this happen with Collab, where they had 3 fountains or 4 fountains across the team.
So far, sorry to interrupt, it's so far only 1 fountain and going to be probably 3 fountains, since the other item is Life Spring. So, looks quite similar.
Yeah, well, it's going to... I mean, you just saw the healing 80-0. Like, he should have died to that turret hit, but... It's a little strong, you know?
Yeah.
And well, a little, I think, is an understatement. And French Conquest, I mean, they do have one or on the way to one, but Lotus Eater, I mean, he can't really survive. Like, the burst that comes out has been pretty ridiculous, and Red Wolf, he's been able to build, you know, quite damage intensive, as you can see there, forcing Knight back. I don't know if there's a coming back from this, though, on the side of French Conquest.
Depends if they start focusing Red Wolf, in my opinion, because he's at the moment super dangerous since he's actually picking up and doing the plays. He's picking up the kills. He's initializing the team fights at the moment. As you can see, he's super aggressive, always using his Pouncy Fun to just jump in, get some burst damage down, and he's not even finished his Aftershock yet. Clearly going for it because he has his Eclipse Prism and a Chronograph already. There's the Yummy Kitten Frenzy and from Hell Turret onto Silence. He has Scout Trap popping beneath all of them, but nothing Lotus Eater can do to secure Silence there for a second. We do see the Vanguard, so he can survive that team fight. But another kill, an easy kill actually for Team Red. Following up with the second jungle carry, actually he's going down as well. Only Guide Knight is left. Red is peeling off from that fight, but well, minions are not pushing, so they can't pick up the tower here, the turret.
Well, I mean, I still feel like Red Team 1, they're confident.
Yeah.
I feel like they know they have this game in the bag for them. It's just about dragging out the game long enough so they, or maybe pulling the other team, French Conquest, into a bad position so they can finish them off. I think just time. I would give this game maybe 3-4 more minutes.
Yeah.
I don't even think really the Kraken will spawn in unless French Conquest play this super passive and don't actually try to engage at all.
I mean, you can see that. He just true-charged an Aftershock and already is on a Piercing Shard, which is probably aiming for, the only item he can build out of it is a Broken Myth. And this will grant him even more Shield Pierce. There is a Desperate Gauntlet dropping to survive Guide Knight, but Guide Knight, he shouldn't stick around since Red Wolf Aftershock should be up now and he's doing a lot of damage. Lotus Eater gets a bit of poke and Red Wolf is just, well, three members.
Toying with them.
They can't do anything right now against that. So, yeah.
I mean, it's kind of like a go big or go home thing. He threw the gauntlet down and that didn't lock him down. You know, you kind of just have to fight for it. I mean, Lotus Eater is waiting for his ult to come back up. Silence is going to get locked down and most likely not going to escape this as he gets just every ult thrown his way. There you go, 11-0 as Red Wolf just absolutely demolishes Knight yet again. This turret is not left or long for this world much longer as Lotus even being forced back and finish off with Smite yet again. There's another ace coming in.
Yeah.
And that's another turret gone. That's another 2 turrets maybe.
Yeah. As you mentioned, I don't see French Conquest coming back out of this. They are way too far behind at the moment. And it started early game with the perfectly vision game from Red Wolf, A0 and Jetpacks. And Red Wolf, he feels so comfortable. He's just fighting everywhere, picking up the kills. And man, they could even push that with the next minion waves which are coming. And I mean, they're just going for the towers. Even 2 members of French Conquest are alive. That DPS on the tower, 522 Spectral Smite damage by Jetpacks. And only 1 Vein Crystal tower left. I don't see French Conquest winning this.
Yeah, at all. I'm actually kind of surprised they backed away. Even Red Wolf just trying to a little bit of BM.
I think he wants to jump in here. Oh, the Scout Trap perfectly. So he had the vision actually. Yummy Cat and Frenzy's not up though. So, yeah. No, they don't need Kraken to push that down. And that's such a smart Scout Trap. You can use that as an escape if you're playing Koshka because you can basically just jump on it. You see the minion and you can use the vision again. It's getting more important as far you come into competitive mode to play a lot with vision.
Yeah, the further we get into the actual tournament, we'll have obviously closer games. We won't see these 13-0s. French Conquest, I was expecting them to actually perform a little bit better. Maybe it's because they had to pull out a 3rd member who wasn't expecting to play, so they weren't really, you know, maybe warmed up enough or something like that. But either way, they got to be prepared for things. And Red Wolf now going in on Silence by himself. Will get locked down, but they don't have any damage to really back this up with. Look at his health. It's just not dropping, and he's able to stay alive so long. And there's a stun coming in just to finish him off. You know, Jetpacks was able to secure a kill.
Do you see that Shiver Steal? He's basically not moving anymore. He's fully stacked down. We don't even need to capture that. And Red Wolf is going ham into the base using a Pouncy Fun. This tower is going to fall. This is going to be a GG for Team Red. And they are moving on into actually already the semifinals.
No, quarters.
Oh, quarters. I'm sorry.
Not there just yet. Not there yet. But still, just proven to show that, or proven to everyone out there, that's still a ridiculously strong team. We haven't actually have them finish the game off just yet. I think they want to toy around a little bit more. They get a couple more kills under their belt before they do finish the game.
Yeah.
But
let's check who they could.
They just want to fight.
Actually face in the next match, since in the other matches Walkers versus XCTN. Walkers is quite known as a Polish team and a German team from basically never heard of them, so they might face Walkers in the quarters and might be able the first time to actually get into the finals today. Team Red. Lotus Eater is going down. Meanwhile, Silency, the only member left, getting a nice stun out of jetpacks. He's using his Shiver Seal. You can see that he's basically, yeah, well, that's over. Another ace, 18-0.
The perfect game.
Yeah, a perfect game. Don't die now.
You know someone's going to run into the base and just get absolutely demolished and then feel bad for that. But yeah, I mean, just well done. It's like I said, started off well from the beginning. They didn't let that control slip at all. And they will finish off this game, secure themselves a victory, and into now the quarterfinals. There we go.
There it is. It's going down.
I like this little fighting at the end, just to, like, it's extra salt into the wound kind of thing.
We could kill you another time and another time.
And just look at that, like, kill participation. No one actually with 100% kill participation. 16 was the highest out of Koshka, Red Wolf, out of Jetpacks. A little disappointed. Come on, guys. 100% was what I was expecting.
Just to point that out, because you asked about the Vox build earlier, and he went for the Eve for the alternating. There we go, current, and
you're so German.
The PSD
You're so German. Current.
Current.
And vision.
Vision.
Yeah. Because if you guys aren't familiar, in Germany or in German, V's sound like W's and W's sound like V's compared to English. So it's always funny. You can always tell when someone's German when they say V's or W's. Like
so
Volkswagen.
That's the ultimative test.
Yeah, like or also saying comfortable.
Comfortable.
Because like Germans can't say that word for some reason. So if you ever hear like someone say Volkswagen, in English it's Volkswagen, in German it's Volkswagen.
Volkswagen.
Yeah, close enough. I got there eventually. But we're going to take a look at the brackets now as they are currently. I think the teams are still finishing off a couple of the games, so not exactly sure. I'm not exactly sure. I mean, we'll start waiting for the results to come in. It's going to pop that up once that does settle. And we do have Collab taking the win against Element, Fire Element's taking the win against Eternal Darkness, Team HC taking the win against Joe Bro, Red Team 2 taking the win against Aegis, House of Batiatus winning against Pew Pew 2. The game we just saw was Red Team 1 getting the win over French Conquest. The game we'll be going up to next, though, will be Team HC, a team who got into second place, actually played against Collab in cut number 2 and had that really wonky composition of Celeste, Jewel, and Cruel.
Love it.
Yeah, I was actually playing a game of Celeste a little bit earlier on before we played. I'm ranking up quite fast. Yeah. I'm not going to toot my own horn.
I heard that you're quite in love with
I've got like 26, 27 wins. I've played like 35 games, so I like barely lose.
So if I'm somehow not anymore casting with you, but that's because you're playing actually on Collab.
If I get I want to make a bet with you in blue, and whoever has the highest rank like in 2 weeks gets to like win something. I don't know. I think I'm catching up to you guys.
Okay.
Well, my MOBA experience that I have. But guys, we're gonna be going to a quick little break. When we come back, it will be Team HC up against Red Team 2. Don't go anywhere. We get something to drink, get something to eat, and we'll be back in hopefully about 5 to 10 minutes with our next game. Hello everyone, welcome back to the ESL Vainglory Cup Series. I'm Jason Kaplan, joined by Don John, and we have another game coming your way. It's going to be Red Team 2 this time, not Team 1, up against the, what do you call them? The runner-up of cut number 2, Team HC.
Yeah, they actually did a deep run on Wednesday, if I'm not wrong. Yeah, they lost versus Collab in the finals. Actually, do you recall the match? I'm not quite sure. I didn't watch it.
It was, they had that weird funky comp of Celeste, Jewel and Cruel, and they did the whole Wamba combo thing, and they were actually behind for a majority of the game, but all it took was a couple of those Wamba combos for them to actually pull it back. They almost beat Collab, and maybe if they hit a couple more of those connections, it could have been a different story.
Sounds like an awesome match.
It was really good, and now we're just waiting for I think to tell them to go ahead and start, or we could go ahead and kick it off. Actually, are we waiting for someone?
Oh yeah, someone just left the party for a second, but it's already re-invited, so we are good to go in a second. Basically, double scarf bam.
Okay. Expected.
Basically.
Definitely expected.
So I'm telling them to go, and we can jump into the pick as soon they started.
Okay. Well, here we go. Drop you in. A little bit worried, though, because my buttons don't seem to be showing correctly. And then we'll find out. We'll go ahead and see what's going on. For some reason, it's not stretching appropriately. So let me work this out while you go over the picks for us.
Yeah, we do have a full pick already from Team HC, which is actually an Italian clan. I believe it's founded by Rocco Siffredi and a couple of friends. They picked actually in Glaive a Jewel, and Shizzle Manizzle is playing Cruel.
Whoa.
It's quite interesting though, the Glaive and Cruel combo.
You know what we're actually gonna do? I'm gonna be a genius about this. I'm gonna cut to us real quick. We'll hop back in the game in just a few seconds.
I would just continue with the picks, right?
Yeah, go ahead.
So we do have on the other side Rav playing in Koshgar already in game right now. Jewel is playing.
Oh, that's a sweet camera angle. Let's just cut straight there. There we go. I fixed it. I am amazing. Woo! All right.
I'm proud of you.
All right. Well, why don't you go ahead and run us through this game that's currently going? Because, yep. Apparently, it restores everything back to the wrong thing.
Okay, so let's go. We do have Red Rixon is playing the tank, mostly tank player for Team Red. On the other side, we have actually Best Celeste EU playing a Jewel. Quite interesting with that name. If that is going to fit, we will see in a second. And starting with a book, so is probably going as a melee character. A double Jewel lane, actually. One Jewel is playing on a crystal bit, the other Jewel is sitting on that wonderful, wonderful item for melees in lane, because you are actually regaining 70 health back from a last hit on a minion or a champ, actually, and hero, sorry, not champ. So quite interesting how in Crystal Bit and Book of Eulogies.
Gotcha.
Eulogies is going to sustain, since her health regen is much better at the moment. Best Celeste EU. In jungle we do have Cruel going for an O-cut so far. Red Rixon jumping in now is revealing a Scout Trap. Palmaro get a Pouncy Found on him. A bit of damage from Shizzle Manizzle onto Rev 29. He gets I believe in Deadman's Rush onto Rev. Still sticking around. Shadows Empower Me is now onto Palmaro. Palmaro has a bit more attack speed. Palmaro is going actually to knock back Rev. And we do see both Jewels fighting as well. Rev is going down. No, not Rev is going down. Palmaro is going down as First Blood, the Scout Trap beneath Adiga is... What's with the name right now? Adiga is getting quite low. Sliver health left. Is trying to survive here. Rev also on the run. Red Rixon in the middle of all of that. And actually he's baiting him in on top of the Scout Trap. Wonderful play. A Scout Trap kill by Red Rixon is now trying to escape actually from Best Celeste EU. Another nice Scout Trap, and Best Celeste EU is peeling off since he's getting quite low as well. And the whole team of Team Red 2 is still sticking around. 2 kills for Team Red, 0 for Team HC. And yeah, I'm sorry for that.
Sorry, you're going to have to keep going. I'm still trying to work on something. Not sure what's going on this side with the studio, but it is... Something's going wrong, let's just say that. Someone was in here fiddling with things. Okay. And it wasn't me, I think.
Nice Rocket Leap coming in from Adiga. Feels quite comfortable at the moment, already on an Eclipse Prism. And we do have actually a Weapon Plate and a Crystal Power Celeste, not Celeste, Jewel at the moment in lane. So we will see what is going to go on there. Let's just quickly jump into the jungle. Red Rixon and Rev, they are looking for a pickup here. There's a Merciless Pursuit probably coming down now. A nice stun from a Rocket Leap. Best Celeste EU just stunned. Rocket Leaping out though, and Rev 29 not in range to get a Pouncy Fun off. Okay, all 6 members in lane now. Red is peeling off to another jungle round, and Bestiles EU is again alone. Shizzle actually still only on a Dragonheart, not only just purchased boots as well, tier 1 boots. And we do have Palmario actually already going for a light shield, since he's expecting Jewel to be heavy crystal, and probably Koshka Aftershock seems legit, something what you should go for at the moment if you're playing the Koshka, how the meta is, well, basically telling us to play her. So Rev29 at the moment is on a reflex block and tier 1 boots. Obviously good movement speed, just picks up his first crystal item, which is a crystal bit. And we see again Team Red tries to ward in HC's jungle, or at least in their area, since that ward is not quite in the jungle or in a bush. Bestiles EU roaming down now. We do have, in terms of double Jewel in lane, well, the last hits are quite even. The gold should be even as well, since both of them are 0-0-0. So no kills. Heavy Steel picked up by Bestiles EU is jumping in, Rocket Leaping, actually double stand on Rev29 and Red Rixen. Shizzle using his boots and Shadow Empower Me to, trying to connect. Not able to. And now Bestiles EU is a bit in a bad situation. There's a Miraculous Pursuit onto Bestiles EU. And nice Rocket Leap onto Shizzle. Blocking him, he can't go in. Rev29 goes quite low, tries to pick up Bestiles EU, he has nothing left. And there's a nice Rocket Leap actually. That's so beautiful. In the end, nothing he can do, since Rixen used his Miraculous Pursuit A skill to stun him and actually picked up the kill. Red Adija jumping on with a Rocket Leap. We do have Catherine actually counter jungling. I thought she's just going, or he's just going back, but actually picking up some jungle farm here from Team HC. That's quite reckless with nothing left on the health bar. Probably going for the back part right now. And Rev is doing the same in the red jungle. Don't get confused if I say red jungle, I do mean the jungle of Team Red and, well, those other players who are playing on the red side, Team HC. So we do actually see already a life spring, if I'm not wrong. Yeah, a life spring on Red Rixen, so he might go as well for that juicy Fountain of Renewal, which is quite important, especially if you are playing versus that Cruel. He can burst you, well, if he is going for the burst build and skilling his A skill. Yeah, looks like that he's going to max his A skill. So his shield is quite good and he's getting a lot of burst damage down, and that Fountain can regain a bit of that for Team Red 1. It's a 3-0, but it's not really feeling like a 3-0. It's, at the moment, Team HC is trying to engage into the jungle of Team Red a lot, trying to get more vision down there. We do see Shizzle and Palmaro always roaming together. And Red Rixen actually only level 4, but that's not too bad, since HC has their tank only level 4 as well. We do have the ult of Rev up, the big red button on Adiga is up, the big red button on Bestiles EU is up, so who's going to pick up the gold mine? Because he's digging there for a while already.
Well done.
Welcome back.
I fixed the problem.
Welcome back.
We're good. We're back in. Someone tweaked a setting and we ended up finding it out. So we're back. We're good. We're good to go. You've been definitely carrying us through this game so far. It's a 3-0 lead, just to recap for you at home. Red Team 2. So do have only a 200 gold lead currently though. And the Glaive pick, I honestly did not hear if you talked about him too much, but if you did, can you actually go into him a little bit more? Because we did see Team HC doing something weird before. We saw the Celeste, we saw the Cruel, and we saw the Jewel combo. We're seeing the Jewel and Cruel, but Glaive, what's he going to bring to this this combo that Celeste does? Well,
we saw that early game already. They tried to pick up the kill on Rev29 with the Glaive using the Afterburn, running through Rev basically and knocking him back into the hands of Shizzle on Cruel and Bestiles EU. So it did not work, but we are going to see that again, since it's quite easy actually to use your Afterburn to pick someone up, but to master that ability, that's quite a thing actually. And it looks like that he's going for the full tank in this team. We do have actually HC Shizzle rushing the Shiver Steel. We saw that from Jetpacks in the match before from Red 1, worked quite good for him. They went 20-0
look at this
or
bait
18-0.
though. Look at this bait though. Shizzle's right behind them. Their bait isn't perfectly. If Celeste can get a fantastic leap onto him for a nice stun, this could open up some kills. And there we go. Shizzle gonna be running around the corner. Raph gonna be trying to run away. Rickson going in by himself. 1v3. He's gotta be careful, but he's very tanky. They're gonna jump straight on top of Raph. He's gonna get bursted down by the big red button, but he's still alive. And there's the reverse. Celeste might fall from this one. The first kill finally comes in. The jump out of Adisha going in does net him 1 kill onto the opposing Jewel. But Palmatoro trying to run away. He will fall. Shizzle.
Stacked already,
he's tanking the gold mine. He's attacking them at the same time. He's doing a whole bunch of things, and he won't have his smite up just yet as he gets stunned for another time. But he is sustained. You can see Adisha and Rickson are trying to take him down.
He's not quite sure what to do. I don't know if he's baiting onto that scout trap or if he's not sure what to do here right now. 2 flare guns are going off. I'm not sure if Red Rickson is going to face check that, but Adiga in the end is backporting, and it's quite interesting to see how Shizzleman is actually tries to just stick around, even that he's low life versus 2 members of Team Red, and just annoy them, don't let them backport. And
well, that's one thing that's very deceptive about Cruel, is that it looks like he might be low, but with 1 swift hit of his B ability, or his smite, he can be back to practically full health. So you gotta be very careful when you're going up against him, and I think that's why Red Team 2 just backed away. But we might see another engagement. Shizzle charge in for Rick. Let's get the attack off, but not going to commit for this one. There's a lot of scout traps too, and Rickson again going to be going into Shizzle, going to try to focus him down. And we've seen, Cruels get burst down in 1 stun alone, but the rest of the Red Team just back away. They realize if you lose this fight, you're not only losing that, you're losing the gold mine 100%.
Yeah, that's why
and neither team wants to give it away.
That's why basically everyone is sticking around here. Ref seems like he wants to go for jungle farming, probably because he saw that both jewels are up in lane again, and so gold miner is going to dig for a while alone, since, well, he's full. He can't put that gold anywhere.
I can help him out with that. I got some empty pockets for him. But Team HC, they were all about the wombo combo.
Yeah, I like that they're always trying something new, basically. You can't, if you have HC in one of both teams, you're actually never seeing mirror matches. At least I never saw that, because they're always trying to do something what someone is not doing at the moment, which is not meta, because a Jewel playing together with Glaive. Can you recall that? I'm not quite sure if we ever saw that. This is the first time I've
actually seen Glaive playing competitive play besides games we've done off stream, but we might see our first big engagement over towards the gold mine. Rickson, not really scared as he's pushed up relatively far. He's relatively tanky, as we've seen before.
Yeah, and Shizzleman is always sitting in some bush, trying to get his heroic perk. Takes him 1.5 seconds, so not too much to stack that up. You can see that from his glowing sword. He has more attack speed and more movement speed, obviously, and popping some scout traps here. But he's always doing that. I mean, we saw him sitting in this bush already alone. Then we saw him sitting here. It did not really bring Team HC that much effort at the moment, but, well, he's always lurking, so he will pick someone up.
Well, they're clearing all of these traps, and this could be a big problem. Is Rickson, well, we're not going to be able to do too much damage. Raph, very low on HP. Shizzle chasing away the opponent's Jewel. Adisha not really catch his big red button. Raph, though, he might fall from this one. Palmatoro, he might fall as well, as they already picked up the first kill. Adisha trying to run away with the help of his boots. Looks like he will successfully be able to do that. And now we might see the gold mine starter. They're just going to get the little bit extra health regen in there. Palmatoro still not on that much HP. Celeste on half health. Adisha doesn't have ultimate up, even for quite a long time, but this gold mine's falling so fast, and when you have that smite, which Shizzle's not even going for, they're going for the fight instead. He picks up the kill. They're going to get the gold mine too. That is so much money in their pockets, and they take the gold lead.
Yeah, it was quite important, actually, that Best LSU on Jewel tanked that one, because Palmatoro already went quite low. I mean, his fountain is up, but you don't want to use your fountain just to sustain through a gold miner, right? You want to use that on a better point. So since he is on a book, he has quite good of lifesteal already. Best LSU. Man, that's confusing that he's playing Jewel and his name is Best LSU.
It was fun when he was playing Celeste, and his name is Best Celeste.
He should have an account for every match. So
Best Jewel EU. I know he can't call himself Best Celeste. He hasn't seen me play yet.
Okay.
I went like 18-0 earlier. It was crazy.
In hotness or?
Skill tier 6.
Okay.
But I'm like gold skill tier 6.
That's not too bad.
And I'm on like a 12, 13 game win streak. So I'll rank up soon. Once I have a little bit more time on my hands to play. But again, looks like both teams just grouping up towards the gold mine. Obviously, he doesn't have that much gold to give away this time. As Rickson, look at the damage that Celeste is able to do just off of one hit. That is pretty ridiculous. And he's going to charge straight into him again. Look at that. Rickson down to half HP. He's going to fall before the fight even kicks off. Look at that. Palmatoro comes in with a fantastic crit. I think actually Celeste pulled off the crit. And they just instantly burst him. Are they going to catch anyone with the ultimates?
Ooh,
Jump comes in. Raph stun. He's stunned again after that. Gets knocked back. And he's not going to escape this. That is going to be a kill coming in. And Team HC, they're looking to knock out Red Team too.
Yeah, it's a nice move there from Best Celeste. Actually, rocket leaping over that little rock there. And picking up actually... super close though, but picking up Ref and stunning him, and then the follow-up with that sword in your face, and yeah, you basically melted. Oh, trying to box Adiga there a bit back. Another nice rocket leap. That damage though, you can see that. That's so great. The big red button following up and actually fighting behind the first tower of Team Red, and they are able to pick up that kill. There already is some Spectral Smite stacks onto Red Rickson, but Chiselmanizel is going to get down now by Pouncifan. There is Palmatoro coming in, but he's getting a Yummy Cat and Frenzy from Rev29. This could be a follow-up. A nice Merciless Pursuit already actually started that before Palmatoro, there we go, went out of the Pouncifan stun.
I really wonder and question what that was about. There was no need to give up those kills. Raph might fall. He's going to die. He does get the reflex block off, but he still goes down to Best Celeste, and I don't even think Rickson's going to be able to skip this. He will have a stun off cooldown relatively soon, so he could potentially... Actually, no, he doesn't have the energy to run away from this, and Celeste's going to run right into a stun. Big Red Button comes in, and Celeste is just trying to kite away and gets the jump for the kill into a Scout Trap. And that is TBHC redeeming themselves. But again, those two deaths they had before, I really question, you know, why those happened.
Rev sacrificed himself for the gold miner, basically, and probably also the gold miner is going to pay out again in 5 seconds, since she's going to spawn in a second. And well, we don't see the amount which they're really gaining, but I have the feeling that one death to that gold miner is totally worth it. But what happened afterwards?
Questionable.
Questionable, yeah.
To say the least here. And Kraken now spawning in 15 minutes in. And a slight lead for Team HC in terms of kills, but the gold still tells a different story. Almost a 2,000 lead for them. And this combo's working out. Best Celeste, I mean, he is ridiculously fed. He has like a 20 CS lead. He's got already 4 kills over Adija. He's got ridiculous items too. Like, this is going to be, I think, really hard for Red Team 2 to come back from. But then again, they're an experienced team. You know, they're a very strong team. They finished second place in cut number 1.
That's better than Red ever did. That's better than Team Red ever did. They finished up second. That's better than Team Red.
No, Team Red 2 actually got in Cup 1, they finished second place.
Oh, as well?
Yeah, and Cup 2, Team HC finished second place, so...
Oh. So it's actually a Kraken steal? No, super close though. Merciless Pursuit coming in here by Red Rickson. Red Rickson is, again, not really part of the fight here right now. There's the Kraken buff onto Team HC.
Stun into the big red button.
Yeah, and you don't want to fight a team which is on a Kraken buff, because they're regaining health. Meanwhile, we are fighting them, so you at least should wait until they're full life and the Ace buff is not the Ace buff, the Kraken buff is peeling off.
Well, you know what? They're gonna get 2 turrets from this, guaranteed.
For sure, yeah.
Nothing that Red Team 2 can do about this. Actually, they might even fall if they get a little bit cocky. If they stick towards this turret. All it takes is one jump. Raph's on sliver of HP. He's going to actually dodge away from the stun, but it doesn't matter. They pick up the kill. Now Rickson, he's going to be forced to back away. And this is a steady but sure snowball coming in for the side of Team HC. Kill after kill. Rickson, he will survive this. But Shiza will back away. And they're going to pick up a 3rd turret, actually.
Again, the Shiva steal on Jetpack, Chiselmanizel, excuse me. So important. That's why he was actually able to our Big Red Button nearly killing Palmaro here, but the tower is going down in the end, and I don't know, I think Palmataro just died to that turret explosion. Best you quite low. Red Rickson getting a lot of stacks, 568 health regeneration out of that Spectral Smite, and this might be... oh no, she's not able to push that tower as well, but I mean 3 towers out of 1 Kraken. That's quite a lot of gold. 900.
And you can see it just reflected in the gold difference, sitting over 3,000 ahead of their opponents. Items are getting very deadly, and I see you're pointing out, you know, something difference between the 2 jewels. You see a crystal power jewel, you see a weapon power jewel, and it's curious to see how this is actually going to work out, because we saw actually a crystal power Taka on Wednesday, who went straight shield pierce.
I ran in a lot of Takas actually who only bought broken myths. only, which is the tier 3 item of, basically Shield Pierce, or Shield Pierce item. So it works, it's stacking on your abilities, but your auto attacks are not that powerful.
Yeah, I feel like if you miss the ultimate, like they do have decent lockdown for the ultimate. They do have Koshka and Catherine to hold them there.
So it's basically the same as you mentioned because that's probably the point you were going for. Jewel on Crystal, her big red button is deathly as hell. But if she misses it, there's a cooldown of 80 seconds, and then she's basically not useless, but compared to Best Celeste EU, who's playing on, I mean, you need to point that out. He's playing on double Trine's monocles. That's so much damage, actually. And Best Celeste EU, big red button. You can see that, that perfect big red button. So much damage. There's a fountain coming in now. Shizzle Manizzle, Red Adija tries to jump. That Shizzle Manizzle can't stack anymore, but he's getting a lot of damage out of that Spectral Smite. There's a nice Merkle Pursuit onto Shizzle Manizzle. Rocket leaping out of there. He don't want to fight that anymore. Rev 29 is now the target of Shizzle Manizzle.
He just doesn't die.
No.
He really does not die, and he has a smite up in about 5 seconds time. That stun should finish him off.
Wonderful stun though. He came back. He came back after he ditched his team, and now they get an ace buff out of it. That's a well-earned ace. And that's probably at least 1 tower. At least.
I think it's going to be 2.
Yeah.
You have 30 seconds. It could even be 3, actually, if they want to really push it and really go quickly. But like I said, you saw the damage that Crystal Power Jewel can do. That big red button locking down Celeste with the Koshka ultimate.
So compared to that, you can basically perfectly compare it. Compared to that big red button, way less damage, since the big red button is stacking way better on the big red...
wow. Just saw that.
There we go, yeah.
Looks really familiar.
Don't need to explain what just happened, and you see that her A skill is stacking from Best Celeste EU, is stacking so great on weapon power. I mean, that one hit nearly killed Rev in 1 hit, and if she even is stacking it up to 5, well, that's a small big red button.
I really question Best Celeste, though. That was unnecessary death.
But they picked only 1 tower. So
true.
Maybe worth it. Maybe that hold them back, because that big red button was basically not to do damage. He basically just did that to clear the minion wave. So they don't have anyone who tanks it. Because he saw that, he probably saw that Red Rixen went quite low because he tanked the tower from the first push. It's a smart decision, and now we do have Team Red actually without... Oh, there is a Scout Trap, so Team HC should see that there is a Kraken getting pulled, and they see it for sure now because they're the Flagon, but nothing much they can do about it since, yeah, Jewel is too far away for a big red button, and that's actually a Kraken. Is that... It feels like it's a turn. That they turn that game right now here.
It could be. The question comes, though, can they do anything with it?
Well, ultimates are all up on Team Red. And for that team fight, it's going to be actually all 6 ultimates up. So depends if Red Adija hits his big red button again that nicely, and maybe into Rev 29's Yummy Catnip Frenzy. Totally. If they pick Best Celeste EU
That's
up.
all they've been doing. It's just...
Yeah. But I mean, if they're going to pick up Best Celeste EU, Shizzle Manizzle alone, without the Rocket Leap stun out of Best Celeste EU, can't do much at the moment. I mean, still, you see... Kraken is melting quite fast. Yummy Catnip Frenzy is coming in. It's the big red button. There's its follow-up. Nice. We talked about that just a second ago. Best Celeste EU somehow surviving at the big red button coming back, and Shizzle Nizzle is going down, actually. And that is at least 1 more tower for Team Red.
I think it might be more than that. Palmatorga getting caught out. I think this actually could be game. Best Celeste going to be in a 1-on-3 to defend against this. The turret will fall. They're looking for the next one. All it takes is 1 stun to lock him down long enough to kill him, but he's still got half the amount of damage. You can see Raph taking a 700 crit. The Kraken very low on HP as well. Celeste trying to go in. Rixen on very slow amount of HP, but the Kraken will fall. Red Team 2 just going to back away. And this game, it's basically dead even. We're equal in turrets. Even that HP off the turrets is almost dead even. And Red Team 2, off the back, of that little bit of a trade, they get themselves back in the game.
Yeah, so we basically called it. We saw that Rev uses his Yummy Catnip Frenzy to call, okay, this one. We are going to kill this one first in this team fight. Picks him off. Adiga waits a second until the Yummy Catnip Frenzy damage is fallen off, but still stunned. And then the big red button as follow-up out of that crystal power. Besides Shadow Class, he's also on a broken myth, so that's Shield Pierce as well. And since we do see that there's actually not a lot of shields on Team HC, I just saw that it's only the Fountain. And that's probably why Best Celeste EU is at the moment melting out of that back red button from Adiga.
I feel all you need to do, though, to stop this is have Palmatoro run in and send Adija. Stop him from his big red button. Like, once the ultimate of Rap's gone out of Koshka, Celeste is fine. He can run away. He won't take that much damage. But if you interrupt that combo, then there goes their whole Wombo combo, and they have nothing to back that up with.
But did you see one good afterburn at the moment from Palmatoro? Where he actually used it to kick off someone out of a big red button or out of a Yummy Kitten Frenzy, which is possible as well. He did not really use that yet. So if they're going to be able to use it and pick up one member, which is probably going to be Ref, since that is the target they should go for, because besides the big red button, Adiga is not that scary. Yeah, we'll see. Next Kraken is going to spawn soon as well. Should be another minute. And if Red can pick that Kraken up again, it might be game for Red. And if actually HC is going to pick it up, maybe a base race. Who knows? Everything is possible basically at that point in the game.
I feel like if Team HC... Okay, now if Red Team 2 get the Kraken, I feel like Team HC can defend against it as long as they don't let Adija just instantly kill Best Celeste. But the other way around, I don't think Red Team 2 can defend a Kraken from killing off their turrets. It's going to be interesting to see how this one kind of works. But, I mean, either way, we're 25 minutes in, one of the longer games that we've had across all the cups.
Oh, yeah.
And both teams really realizing that this is the final push. This is going to end the game. Doesn't matter who wins it. Whichever one comes out on top is going to have themselves a victory and a spot into the semifinals.
I do have the feeling, as Team Red has it, that there she is. It's coming up and getting captured as soon. Not even one hit yet. You mentioned that once, like not even a cup of coffee, just getting captured instantly without one hit.
Yeah, we saw it in the first cup, I believe it was. But now they're going to push out. They know the Kraken's taken. They're going to back away. They have to be careful here. They need to kill Adija or interrupt his big red button ASAP. And once you do that, they can worry about killing off the Kraken quickly.
So, but one thing they did smart, they picked up the minion miner. And that's for, they need to back up, actually walk back, because their base is basically open and they don't have minions, which are following up right now. So it's only Kraken who's
actually
pushing.
Might be able to kill that turret.
Oh, they could be. If
it's already very low on HP.
Let's check that for a second. They totally could do that if the next wave is coming in. But well, they will cut off the next wave. But we will keep an eye on that. Meanwhile, that's a bit more interesting what is happening right now here. But it seems like that the minions are actually able to kill one tower there. Yeah.
Yep, they got it. And I'm probably going to get a second, but let's see. Can they hold on? One turret left for them. One turret left for both teams. And they're trying to stun Celeste yet again for the big red button. But look at that. They hold Adija back. They stop from using it. He hits two good people with it, but he's about to fall from this one. The stun going to come in, laying onto two. And Celeste is trying to kill off the Kraken because in the meantime, the crystal is exposed. It's being taken out by Raph. Raph should be finished off as he gets stunned back up. Shizzle holding two people back.
How is Adija still alive?
And well, he's still alive, but you know what? So's the base of Team HC, and they're looking for the turn. They're looking for the fight, and they might catch him out. Rickson, he might fall from this one, but they have to be careful. If Raph stays around, he could backdoor this if they go for the push.
I mean, if Raph and one of them, if one of them is going to die, then it's basically game for Team HC. But it seems like that they are fine. But Raph somehow sticking around.
You could have easily backdoored this if you just hid.
He has no Kaku like Taka, but Taka would be so perfect right now to backdoor that Vein Crystal, since there is, well, still a bit of health left, but until they see actually a Taka appearing out of the box, out of her box, it's way too late. But Raph is somehow not going for it. Best Celeste EU though is trying to push it in. 20 seconds left on Red Rickson, so it's the 3v2 at the moment. A Crystal Infusion popped on Raph 29, going actually in for.
See, they stun him off again. They stopped the big red button, and now Adija has nothing to do about this. It looks like they were listening to us. They're going to stun Palmatoro, but you know it's not going to matter. Raph will fall. Adija now the last man alive. The turret is falling so quickly with those crits, and this is going to be it. They're going to finish it off. What can Adija do about this? He's 1 on 3. The Crystal's at half HP. They're still forcing them back. They're even picking up kills left and right, and that is going to do it. Team HC are going to come back after almost losing it at the end with that Kraken and pick themselves up a win and a spot into the semifinals.
Man, so just to point that out, MVP call on that minion mine. that was so important that minions pushed, because with minions behind the Kraken, Team Red was probably will be able to push with that Kraken before. But since they picked up the minion miner, the minions did not push with Kraken, and man, such a wonderful game.
Yeah, well done. And that just shows, you know, well, we had one game that was a complete stomp, then we have this game, which was definitely a lot closer. It's nice to see the little bit of differences, you know, when the teams get better and how close the games can really come. To look at the brackets really quickly, if I can speak English. We had Collab pick up the win against Fire Elements. I think I saw Shinkai again talking in chat. They'll be up against against Team HC, which is a rematch of cut number 2. And then we have Red Team 1 still playing against Walker's House of Batiatus against Feet Spellin. I believe the game we'll be going to will, in fact, be Team HC versus Collab.
And what I'm thinking right now is actually Team HC another time picking something new, since that Glaive, Cruel, and Jewel comp is quite newish. And well, I would love to see that actually, because they're at the moment trying to evolve everything and trying to be not predictable. So hopefully, I would be looking forward for that.
All right, well, guys, we're going to head to a quick little break. When we come back, it will be, in fact, Collab against Team HC, and we'll see you then. Hello everyone, welcome back to ESL TV for the ESL Vainglory Cup Series. Jason Kaplan joined by Don John, and we'll be kicking off now probably one of our most exciting matches today. It's going to be a rematch of Cup number 2 finals with Collab up against Team HC. This time, we did see Team HC do a little bit of a different comp. Yeah. They used Jewel instead of Celeste, so best Jewel EU is now playing. But maybe we'll see them go back to the comp that worked before, or the comp that almost worked when they played in Cup 2.
Yeah, I captured a bit of the chat since we already have the bans, and of course, double Scarf ban.
Never would have guessed it.
No.
Never would have guessed that.
But I saw Fuji mentioning for a second, maybe we are banning Glaive since it looked quite good what they did there in the match before, but they end up banning Scarf, of course. So, well, as you mentioned, maybe the same comp than before. You just, off camera, he just mentioned to me, or you just mentioned to me, they need to get the wombo combo done, though.
Yeah,
they need to hit that, and if they are not going to, it's going to be difficult versus Fuji, Gabe Vizzle, and Iraqi Zoro.
Last time they met, it came down to finally hitting a wombo combos. So Team HC was behind like the entire game. Then they hit like one great fight, and then they turned it into another great fight, and from that, like, 15 minutes in, they're able to come back, but I don't know if they're going to be able to do it this time. I think I'm going to tell them to start so we can get the game underway. Okay. And we can see this match is going to go. Collab, defending champions for 2 cups running. Can they make it potentially a third? And there we go, into the picks.
Pick is going off, and
I guarantee they're all going to pick Scarf at the beginning and hover over it.
That's what they are always doing.
Oh my god, it's not funny, guys!
Stop it! So Collab is place 1, 225 points out of all 3 previous cups. We have actually, what place is HC? HC is placed 7th. So
they're technically still in the top 8 for June 12th, but
we actually do have 2 red teams as well, in both red teams in the top 8 as well. So we have a full lock-in, and I love Gabe Vizzle's pick. And we do see actually the same comp out of HC. So is that maybe a try from Team Collab to actually counter that particular comp, that setup that they went for Glaive, for Jewel, and for Cruel again? We'll see about that. I'm curious though what Fuji, how he's called in EU, Fu EU, is going to end up buying. Yeah, we're going to call him Fuji.
Yeah, we'll call him Fuji. And Iraqi Zoro, I think we actually did see him on Taka last time in cut number 3 in the lane because Vox was banned against him, and he just absolutely wrecked kids with it.
Yeah, and just to say that, I don't know if you ever saw him playing Vox.
Oh no, I have.
Such a good Vox. I recall probably Player of Beard saying that's probably the best Vox player in the world at the moment.
Yeah, I've definitely seen it, and that's definitely a scary thing to be up against, especially sorry, I just hit my mic when you're playing Jewel. But then again, the Book of Eulogy is going to be another strong factor when it comes to that lane control. I personally think the Book of Eulogy is maybe a little bit too strong for what it's worth for melee laners, because they really can't be harassed that well. We have yet to see a melee laner that picked up Book of Eulogies ever lose lane.
That's true, but I mean, right now Iraqi Zoro can push the lane and clear it a bit faster since he used his B skill as first. Man, he hit now level 2, so he has Sonic Zoom and Pulse up. But actually Pulse helps him early game so much to get those minions bursted down faster, because they all get an echo, and basically your auto attacks are splitting into the next row of minions. So and therefore he's now able to roam downwards, actually already precharging his first Crystal Bit, has as well as Swifty Shooter. There's the first Rocket Leap coming in onto a Scout Trap. Iraqi Zoro getting a lot of damage out of that. HG Palmatero, there we go, is going down as well. It's a 1v1 trade. So far we know that Fuji is a quite good player on the attack. I already saw that a couple of times. He's going bad on Shizzle is getting probably the kill. Even he's nearly full stacked and using his Kaku to dodge those Thunder Strikes from Best Celeste EU. He's Rocket Leaping though, back in, getting a bit of damage. Though. Yeah, probably. He's not able to pick up Fuji. Not enough damage at the moment. So it's a 3v1 trade for Team Collab, and now picking up a bit of jungle. Nice Kaku to survive that. Is picking up actually the...
He kills it to get the extra regen too, and he's going to back away.
Of course.
Team HC, not a strong start by them. They were able to kill Iraqi Zoro, but in the end, they're still down 2 kills. And you have to also point out is Iraqi Zoro, he picked up the Swift Shooter, I believe, for extra attack speed, so he can push the lane even quicker by using his B ability. And then he saw Fuji. He actually picked up, I honestly don't know the name, but if you go to the scoreboard real quick, I can show you it. Picked up 2 of these.
Oh, weapon
fine
blades.
things.
That's
weapon blades.
The basic weapon.
I should have known that. But he picked it up right before that fight. And then he got the Swift Shooter, I believe. So definitely trying to, get that little bit extra power spike he can possibly pull off right before a big battle, and you can see how it worked out. He's now 3-0.
Yeah. I'm actually curious about what Fuji is going to end up buying, since we saw a couple of times actually in high elos, you don't see that much of tension bows on Takas, since that is falling off a bit late game, because as Aftershock it's not scaling to the total health of the enemy. So, but a lot of people went for that tension bow because Highly Crystal is meta at the moment, and everyone is buying Shield for that. So we'll see what Fuji's is ending up buying there. There's a nice afterburn coming in. Fuji is dying actually to the hands of Palmatoro, and now Shizzle on the chase using Deadman's Rush onto Irakisoru. He's regaining quite good through his passive since he's stacking a bit. Nice Scout Trap.
Don't tell me they're going to 2v3 this. They are so low on health, and Shizzle's still going in. The smite's going to be enough to help pick him off, but you can see how low on health they are.
Is he burning down though? No, not enough. But one Scout Trap would actually deal enough damage to kill 2 members of the team HC at the moment.
Yeah, that was a little bit too close.
Quite a turn though, so it's in terms of kill, 3 for each sides. Gold is quite even as well, and might be the next big fight might be the gold miner or just a minion, we don't know. And as you mentioned, we do see actually still Best Celeste EU laning with Jewel melee versus range attacks from Irakisoru out of his Vox. At the moment, it still looks quite even, 19 to 19, actually totally even in terms of last hits. So we'll see if your theory is getting true or not in the end.
Well, I mean, he's already, he was equal in farm. He's got 2 kills, 1 death. Like, he's not being pushed out of lane. You're seeing Iraqi focus more on farming than on even trying to harass him. Like, that's a win for any melee hero. If you look at any other MOBA, melee heroes against range always have a tough time. But the Bokuyu just proving to be, really strong for them to allow them or to facilitate them to lane. But now we're seeing a little bit of investment at Team HC onto these scout traps over towards the gold mine, maybe expecting it to be contested relatively soon. And we do see the heavy crystal out of Irakisoru. I hope I got that name right. I'm still trying to learn the item names because it's very difficult for me. Heavy prism. It's close enough. Crystal's like a prism.
Yeah.
Actually, crystals technically are prisms. All right, so heavy prism picked up for the extra damage.
No.
Americanize it.
So,
actually, Super Evil Megacorp is in America. Anyways, yeah. Irakisoru, gonna get caught out, gonna get knocked back. He's gonna get stunned up too, and that's gonna be another kill.
That's actually, I don't want to sound naggy, but that's the first really good afterburn out of Palmatoro. So totally in love with that.
Including the game before.
Yeah, include the game before. Yeah, of course. And actually, we do Shizzle is getting some stacks already onto the gold miner, trying to get that objective. It seems not like a bait since they just killed Irakisoru in the lane. They will finish up this. It's only 2 minutes. Actually, exactly 2 minutes full, so it should be around 150 gold per member of Team HC. Iraqi is turning back to lane, so they are not looking for a fight here, or are they?
There's they might get one. That's the problem. That stun coming in and gave Vizzle. Well, he will just get a little bit of extra speed up there to maybe escape. We'll have Iraqi to help out, but Celeste is going around the side. He's trying to cut him off, and gave Vizzle.
Oh, sweet.
He's dead. 6-3 Collab. They are struggling this game. You compare the games they've had before, at least from last cup when Shinkai was playing, they ran like that Scarf Koshka combo, and they got so aggressive early on in the jungle that they made it so the team couldn't farm their own side of the map. And because of that, it was just a complete landslide in the last 2 games, the semis and the finals for them. But here, they didn't go for any sort of early pressure. Or they did go for a little bit, but they didn't get as much control as they wanted. And Team HC are fighting back.
So I just want to clarify that, since I said something wrong about Celeste's Thunderstrike. It's not stacking anymore. It's basically just if you hit it, you get an extra amount of shield and... oh, no, I'm caught out.
I'm going to correct myself in the night.
Yeah, no, it's shield and armor pierce, and if you're not hitting it the second time, that's actually like you're losing it then. So it's just on or off, and you're not stacking up. That's got patched in 1.4, just for all you guys who are really into it. That's the real fact.
Shizzle trying to just proc the trap. He will in fact get it. Trying to defend their own gold mine.
He did that quite beautiful already in the match before. He used his Statman's Rush to just to run over those skull traps, since he knows he has enough movement speed with that to actually run over those, activate them, and not getting the damage in the end.
And you can see Celeste ahead in farm. 45 to 43, so he's been able to maintain that control. He's starting to get some heavy damage behind him. And we do have Rakizaro going for the lifesteal item. Can't remember the name for the life of me. The crystal lifesteal item.
Eve of Harvest.
That one, Eve of Harvest. And speaking of him, he's dead. Well, not enough lifesteal, clearly.
Yeah. Well, we really didn't see that right now, but I think it's probably since there's cooldown on HC Paul Matoro's afterburn that he used that again for jumping in. But now they're a bit deep onto the tower. They don't really, well, Shizzle and Izzle don't really escape here, but getting a nice from Hell's Hurt there down into Fuji's stomach and some Spectral Smites. And they're actually peeling off and getting a bit of tower damage. That's quite an aggressive move, actually, to force a bit of damage onto that tower, because you saw that Fuji and Gabe Wizzle instantly roamed upwards and tried to pick up someone. Ixretsu, though, on HG Palmatoro going in now. A nice rocket leap stunning Irakizaro. There's a big red button picking 2 members of Collab.
Wow, Fuji, I think he kind of just barely ran into it. So now a 9-3 scoreline. Team HC are on a roll. They're looking pretty strong. They're roaming around as a team, doing really well, picking up kills left and right. And I have to point something out. I remember I played a game the other day against a Scarf in lane who actually bought like 2 Eve of Harvest, 2 or 3 or something like that, and you just could like not kill him. It was ridiculous.
Yeah, especially if he
was
casts
doing.
his Dragon Breath.
Yeah,
it's like he's nearly death, and then Dragon Breath,
full
and
HP.
Woo, full HP.
It was so frustrating, but we won the game. I'm too good of a player to let something like that beat me. But can Collab stop Team HC from continuing this snowball? It's 2.8 thousand gold lead for them. Gold mine is getting relatively full. They're trying to make sure to defend it. We're seeing it started off. Irakizaro going to be tanking this one up. And Fuji already taking a little bit of chip from the side. The gold mine still on a ton of HP. Fuji now very low. Are they going to commit to this? No, he's going to back away. Yeah. He's going to escape, but Palmatoro is here to help out, to zone them away.
He's jumping actually on that heal minion just to get that buff. And Shizzleman is, we saw that. Is that his favorite position? He's again in this bush.
That's his favorite bush.
Yeah. He has quite a connection to that, probably.
This is my bush. There's many like it, but this one's mine. Oh, wow.
Oh, actually boxing him out of the... Yeah, well, that's like stunned, and dead in the
Are they trying to go for the gold mine to counter? No, they're going to go back up towards the top side to fight Fuji.
No. Yeah, gold mine is paying out in a second, though.
That's a lot of money. Yeah, they just paid out, actually. So 9.2 thousand to 5.3. It's looking very familiar to Collab and how they played in cut number 2. And I said about Shinkaigen, you know, Collab couldn't win with him in cut number 1 than they did in cut number 2. Or sorry, it was number 3, as Fuji will fall. Maybe Gabe Wizzle took up the crown from that one, but this is turning into a very one-sided game.
Okay, you mentioned it before we start. He's sitting again in that bushes. Before we start, they need to pull off the wombo combos, and at the moment, I really love Palmatoro's moves. Always on point, afterburns in, boxing someone even into a rocket leap, or after the rocket leap even further into a stun, and Irakizaro is at the moment just getting wrecked by those stuns. So we do see, actually just to finish that up, because I started it really early, to talk about Fuji's build, what he's maybe going for. You see he's on a heavy steel now. No tension bow, no aftershock, you would have guessed. Probably because a lot of people are doing that and buying that, since it's nice burst damage you get after you X-Red suit in. And he's actually not finished one tier 3 item yet. And
He's also 3 and 4. I mean, it kind of shows the pace of the game that a lot of, I mean, you can just look at items alone from both teams. You can see the side of HC, they have every slot filled up. You look on the side of Collab, and Gabe Wizzle's missing out on 2. You see Araki missing out on 1, and you see Fuji missing out on 1 too. So it's a little bit rough. This game has been very rough for them. They're still down almost 4,000 gold, and you can see Team HC, I think they're trying to play for the long haul here. Make sure this gold mine pays out one more time, defend it with all these deep scout traps.
Yeah, that's...
And just kind of catch them out again.
The scout traps perfectly. Fuji really can't move into his own jungle because he... There's the bush again. He's sitting there. Shizzleman feels quite comfortable in that bush. And even more scout traps are going to pop all over Collab's jungle. And I'm not quite sure if they will be able to pick up that gold miner. It's already half full again. It's 150 gold, and it's going to pay out before Kraken is going to spawn again. Probably approximated around 14, 15 probably. So 45 seconds before Kraken. Might see if Collab is going for that, because that would be important to get that gold out of the gold miner, which he's digging there right now. But I'm not quite sure if they're strong enough actually to compete with HC at the moment, since they did not hit a lot of their wombo combos in the red match. But right now is everything on point.
So you're in the shoes of Collab. You're on the team. What would you do in their shoes to get back in this game, being down this far?
Honestly, I don't see them winning, because how HC is playing right now, it's honestly in not hitting a rocket leap, not hitting an afterburn from Team HC, and then collapsing onto.
So they have to hope Team HC make a mistake.
Yeah, that's what I'm guessing. I don't think that they are at the moment at the point to outplay anyone, because they just clearly don't have the damage to burst any one of them.
I would agree with you on that one. Yeah. This is dangerous, Gabe. You're dead solid, and they might pick up a second. The big red button doing good damage to Iraqi Zoro, who's just running through trap after trap after trap, trying to kite Shizzle. There it is. Another kill coming in. Fuji. He will fall. There's an ace. Goldmine going to be paying out very shortly, and they're going to push for another turret. This is a landslide. Again, I expect this to be one of our closest games today, and yet Team HC are walking all over them, maybe just getting revenge for the last time they met in Cup 2. Are they going to pick up 2?
Yeah. Oh, no.
Yeah.
Maybe. I mean, you see the Spectral Smite is
actually,
already
they're doing it. Wow.
That's just crazy. And I like that they're basically never change a winning team, basically. They went for the same builds, for the same play style, like versus Red 2, and it's working. I mean, why change it if you're not getting banned your Glaive, your Jewel, or your Cruel? Why would you not play that again? So totally agree on that.
Why would Collab let them? And Celeste going straight into 3. And look at the he almost one-shot Iraqi Zoro, and he's still very high HP. The stun comes in, and it's very good. Fuji, though, still on a sliver of HP. Best Celeste still alive, tanking them up. He should be able to kill Fuji. Should be able to get the kill onto Gabe Vizzle. And Iraqi Zoro, the last one alive. Big red button coming in, not enough to finish him off. Palmatoro not able to get in range to get the stun off. And Celeste, what?
Yeah, Celeste. I'm always confused. I think that's not Celeste. That's Jewel.
Does he really?
Yeah.
He really just soloed this.
Yeah.
Those crits, Jesus.
Yeah, you see, he's going for the same build again. He's again going for a double Triance Monocle and Zero Blade. Double infusions. I mean, he's 11-1-4. He has like gold, a lot of it. Let's just say a lot of it. Actually,
and now he's joined the party to fight again, and they're using every ability they can onto the only 2 other members that are currently now gone. He's 1v3. If he could pull this off, he'd be a god. He gets one. He's looking for Gabe, but can he get the kill onto Fuji to stop him? He gets a second. Can he get the third? What? And no, just barely. Fuji picks him up, and now Fuji's by himself against a Kraken. He will finally have someone come up in about 15 seconds time, but you have to assume this is going to be 1 turret down, maybe 1.5.
Okay, that play by Best Celeste EU is wonderful. How he turned and actually focused. He focused Iraqi Zoro totally in that fight.
Sorry, Iraqi's up in time.
Yeah, Iraqi's up in time. But still, there's a lot of damage onto the last turret, the last Vayne turret actually. Yeah.
Nah, I can finish it, but but sliver of HP. At least for turrets. And Team HC, I mean, if they just waited for for Best Celeste a little bit longer, that could have been a completely different fight.
They pulled the trigger a bit too fast. Yeah. They felt quite comfortable and thought, well, we're just going with them. We do have that big Kraken right behind us. And if we are going to pick up 1, we are probably going to pick up the whole game. Well, they jumped the gun a bit too early, but honestly, I don't see Collab turning this one. So Fuji's going in, getting a nice health hurt into his face. Is able to survive though with his Kaku. There's another one, nice big red button into actually 2 members of Team Collab. Gabe Vizzle is alive, not for long though. Are they even focusing him? He's pushing a fountain.
They just ignored him. They let him run because the rest of the team from Team HC are just pushing straight through to finish off this game. If they can finish off this ace, they get the regen, and that's not going to matter. Yep. Nonetheless, Collab are going to go down to Team HC. Team HC finally getting revenge after losing in cut number 2. They do secure themselves a spot into the finals. And honestly, well played by them. The Jewel, Glaive, Cruel combo. It wasn't even the Glaive that really solidified the game, but you know what? That combo worked out flawlessly.
All members of Team HC. Wonderful job. I loved the afterburns. I don't know, just perfect work. I mean, that's quite a team. Gabe, Vizzle, Irakisura, and Fuji. Win against them, and you're quite good players.
Yes, you are. And honestly, they deserve that. Was it 21 kills and 6 deaths? That's a big landslide. That really is. And just taking a look at the brackets really quickly, just to update you guys on what's going on. We had Red Team 1 up against Spellin in the other semifinal. I believe that game is waiting for us. And then we had Collab go down to Team HC, who have finally advanced into now the grand finals for a second time. But that does mean we have to go to a short little break. But when we come back, we'll be kicking off. Oh, there's going to be a little bit of sound here. I did it wrong. Oh, well. We'll be coming back in just a few with hopefully our other semifinal. And we're back in just about 5 to 10 minutes time. We'll see you then. Welcome back to the ESL Vainglory Cup Series number 4. I'm Jason Kaplan, joined by Don John. I almost called you Don Berries for some weird reason, since Blueberries joins me on Wednesday. We're getting into now our penultimate match of the night. It's going to be Red Team 1 up against Spellin, and I believe the picks are pretty much ready. So I think we can drop in just a few seconds.
Yep.
And see how this game is going to kick off. And you can walk us through the bans.
That's
because it's going to be interesting.
Yeah, we do have actually Spellin. They're banned Cruel, and they said in the second sentence basically, yeah, we are banning Jetpacks because Jetpacks is, well, he implemented basically the Shiver seal on Cruel, so that's a totally ban versus Jetpacks. And yeah, of course, Team Red banned Scarf. So it's going to be interesting if actually Team Red is going to pick up the Scarf in the end. So it's the first time for today seeing Scarf actually in the tournament, an ESL tournament.
Potentially.
But yeah, well,
potentially. We'll see. We'll see.
Don't jump there.
We're going to tell them to start so we can get this game underway. And so this one will kick off. You know, these two teams, Spellin, they placed 4th in cut number 3, 3rd in cut number 2, 4th in cut number 1. And you hear the sound. You know what that means. We're going to drop straight in and see how the picks actually do go. And
I'm so curious what they are going to pick.
They're not on Scarf.
No, they can't. Scarf is banned.
I mean, that's yeah, exactly. I meant Red Team 1, they haven't picked Scarf.
Yeah, we'll see. Jetpacks is right now on a Koshka, so might not go for the Scarf. I would recommend actually going for the Scarf. There is one not quite locked yet. I mean, if they're going to pick a Scarf, it's probably going to be jungle support Scarf. Definitely not a lane Scarf.
I had a brilliant idea last night. Yeah. Actually, I was dreaming, I think, when I came up with this idea. Why don't you build the shooter on Scarf as your first item instead of the contract?
The shooter? You mean the Swifty shooter?
Swift shooter, yeah. Why don't you build that on Scarf?
For attack speed?
Yeah. It makes you that much more. Yeah, it makes you that. Okay, if you look at battle potential of an item.
Why not? But the problem with the Spitfire is not the attack speed, it's the cooldown. So rather go for cooldown reduction. Because
the damage that you get comes out of the passive from your auto attacks.
That's true. Yeah, well, but if you don't hit your Spitfire, well, I get what you mean. But
I mean, because you get like a contract, right? Or you get boots, we've seen in the past. So if you go the Swift Shooter, you get the contract later. You can be more deadly in the early game, more of a threat in the early game because you can stack up your passive quicker.
It's a good idea, actually.
I think I just broke the meta with Scarf, but too bad he's probably getting nerfed.
It's interesting that you
I think it's a good idea.
Dreaming about Vainglory.
I think it's a good idea. I think it can work. They're actually on the wrong sides. Great.
Ooh.
So they're on the wrong sides. Well, I guess we're going with it.
So guys, we do have on the blue side Team Red 1, and on the red side we are seeing Team Spellin. By the way, Jason is fixing the names so you guys can see that. We do see actually a hard invade from Spellin. They're going sneaky, rotating overwards, and on the downside we do see Team Red wondering, well, where's the enemy? They don't want to face that Scarf right now. And somehow we do see Leia in lane. Tony, Luo, and Bayou are at the moment not unveiled, so they don't know that they're sitting in there. Red Wolf is now coming in from behind. That could be a first blood, actually. There are 3 members collapsing onto Red Wolf. Red Wolf might go down. Mercless Pursuit perfectly timed, and that's a first blood for Team Spellin. I like that move. In terms of gold, it brought them back up since they just lost 2 camps to AD0 and Jetpacks. Oh no, it's 2 camps. We aren't quite so sure. So the body jungle system is going on as normal, and actually I liked the move. It's something new, and I never saw that on ESL so far, that a team actually rotates above the Kraken pit into that bush and waits until the laner comes from the wrong side, since they saw in the tri-bush there is no one connecting with them. So let's just move towards it. Let's see how much farm we can sneak out of it, and then Red Wolf feels comfortable moving upwards. No one is in that bush, stepping into the lane and getting bursted.
Well, it did cost him his first death, but luckily for him, their team is still ahead in gold overall. 823 to 460, but they're able to pick up another kill. Jetpack's lay on a sliver of HP. Jetpack's trying to run away, and Tony Lowe being forced to go back on his talk. He actually might be able to turn here and go straight to Jetpack's. Jetpack's is all by himself, does get stunned up. And Red Wolf wasn't there to back him up, but they will escape this one and back away in the meantime. But they're now losing control of the jungle. Spellin, those 2 kills that they're able to pull off are actually putting them behind because they've lost control of their own camps, because of their own jungle. And this might be a slippery slope, so they need to do something about this to counter that and stop themselves from losing a lot of their static income that always respawns in their jungle.
So it looked for a second like it's going to be a favor for you in lane, since you somehow like seeing Taka in lane, I guess. But right now it's rotating back to a double Vox lane, which is quite interesting as well, since we do see the Swifty shooter on Leia, and Red Wolf is on a Crystal Bit and Boots already. The Splitfire is hitting, but it's not dealing too much damage now. There's the passive following up through the auto attacks. Two auto attacks actually hitting, and you
Swifty
see...
shooter on 80-0, you could have did more damage from that.
I totally agree with that. I'm going ahead and do try that out.
I'm gonna try it out. Like
yeah.
I think it's 100% legit because it makes you such a big threat in the jungle. But 80-0 kind of getting caught. Leia though not on that much HP. 80-0 should fall from this.
Yeah.
And that is a 3-0 lead now for Feetspun. They're still down 400 gold, 600 gold, but they're heading kills. But it's all about the gold to me.
Yep. You should have probably not told us the theory about the Swifty on stream, since now you're probably going to face, the next time you're going solo or public queue, you're going to face a Scarf with a Swifty shooter. So we'll see about that. There's actually a heavy Prism already on Red Wolf. He has not picked up a kill yet. He has, well, let me check for a second, 11 last hits compared to 10, so lane is quite even at the moment. But there's a bit slightly more damage out of Red Wolf at the moment, so we will see how he can clear, actually quite simultaneously clearing the wave here. Jungle is nothing special happening as well. Quite interesting what Tony Lu is actually going end up buying out of his 1k gold he has there right now. Looks like boots and a piercing shirt, which should be piercing spear, excuse me, piercing spear, which should be the path to go for a tension bow.
Okay, well, we'll see if he does continue to go towards that ASAP, or maybe switch items up a little bit later on. But
well, I guess he's probably going to pick up the tension bow quite early, since tension bow is falling down basically late game quite fast. Again, it's the second time that he's running into 3 members of Team Feetspun. I mean, Tony Lu is burning a bit, Jetpacks is following up, he will wind up probably getting the kill. No, it's 5 seconds left until his next Pouncy Fun would have been up, so no chance to secure that kill. The Storm Guard is up from Bayou, so he can survive that one as well. Also pushed a Helican Potion, so no pickup yet. 0 kills for Team Red, and somehow they managed to have a gold lead still. And Red Wolf coming in from behind versus Leia. Leia is 1 level ahead, but has only a Swifty shooter so far, did not buy any items. 1.6, nearly 7k gold at the moment, and well, Red Wolf is going shopping. I thought though, at least. He's not.
Maybe after this wave, and then he'll go back and shop. They do still have, quite a significant gold lead. And yeah, they're losing 80-0 over and over again. He has 3 deaths out of their 4 total. But they're still coming out ahead when it comes to taking away camps and forcing the team back. Feetspun need a responses. They're committing a lot of their CC, a lot of their abilities and their cooldowns towards killing 0. But then Jetpack's just free to roam around and do some good damage. Red Wolf as well. So yeah, it's a positive they're getting kills, but it's also negative that they just completely, they can't turn that 1 kill into 2 or turn it into 3 or turn it into them getting control of the jungle back.
So yeah, it's quite interesting. We'll see. I don't know. He's not able. Tony Lu is not able to buy the tension bow yet, and is also not level 6. We do have Jetpacks level 7 actually already on the side of Team Red, but somehow could not use his Yummy Cat and Frenzy yet to pick someone up. Using his boots now to run into his scout trap. 2 scout traps. A Pouncy Fun onto Bayou the tank. It's not quite the person you want to get a bit of burst down. There's a Yummy Cat and Frenzy onto Tony Lu, getting a lot of damage out of that. A Sonic Zoom back in for Leia. Tony Lu on his Kaku, able to survive for a second. Sliver of health left, and this the first kill for Team Red.
Okay, so they're able to, again, outduel them. 80-0 didn't get caught this time, but it's really showing that Jetpacks and Red Wolf are the 2 men to really do the damage when the time comes. 0, it's got Trap almost finishing him off. Jetpacks should be fine. And there we go. Red Team 1 do get the gold mine, and they do secure themselves an even greater lead, a 2.2 thousand gold lead, even though the kills is 1-4, still in favor of Feetspun.
So they didn't really care about killing that much. They just cared about getting everyone to level 6, at least level 5 already for 80-0, but since he's only question marks, only the tank in this team, but we know that Scarf still can do a lot of damage through his passive, as you mentioned that a couple of times already. So we will see whenever he turns level 6 how much damage he's actually able to pull off with his auto attacks after his Dragon Breath.
Are you kidding me? I'm seeing in chat people are talking about they've been using the Swift Shooter first on Scarf. Well, because they read it on the forums, and I had that in a dream. I swear I didn't read the forums, and I thought of that.
But I think what you mean is basically also as in Scarf on a contract, or who is going for a contract, buying not the contract first, and instead of that, the Swifty Shooter. And to be honest, I didn't see that quite often. I mean, there are a bunch of people which, when they are not playing for a contract and not the tank in the team as a Scarf, buying instead of a contract early game a Swifty Shooter, not quite recall that, seeing it too often. So credits to your idea still.
Yes.
in my perspective, at least. Though.
Well, we'll try it out ourselves and see how it works out for us. But in the meantime, Tony being forced back yet again, popping his stealth just to get away. By himself needs some backup, and Leia does get a nice ultimate across the team, but not enough, and that's going to be 2 quick kills. The third one was certainly coming in. He does get silenced up. The auto-attacks are looking pretty good. And there is the ace. tying kills up finally. The gold's still almost a 3,000 difference now as it's just steadily growing for Red Team 1. And they're going to pick up a turret off of this, most certainly.
Yeah, I liked how Red Wolf used in that Tribash area right now when somehow Leia went back in, used his boots just to dodge everything, just to ran from one side to the other side. But, well, you can't really dodge Sonic Zooms if it's once locked and you really can't dodge it. But still, I liked seeing that. A nice Scout Trap though, popping actually on the minion miner bush of Team Feet Spellin. And they do have another one right here beneath the heal minion. And we talked about that a lot already, especially if you have someone like Taka or Koshka, you can actually jump on that with your X-Retsu. We saw Fuji doing that a couple of times onto that minion in the game before versus Red. So we'll see about that. Not Red, I'm sorry. That's Red Team 1 is playing right now. Bayou is getting bursting down.
The burn, it's going to be enough. 6-4 now, and it seems like Red Team 1 have gotten control of this game finally. Then again, they never looked like they lost control. It was just kind of showing, well, it looked like they did because of the kill difference, but they never fell behind in gold. They're now sitting at a 5,000 gold lead. These items are, it's being reflected on items again very, very soon. You can see, you know, Tony finish up the tension bow, but that's about all he has. And Boots behind that. You look on the other side, everyone has every single slot of their inventory full except Jetpacks, who is just sitting on 5 currently out of the 6.
Okay, yeah, how's Jan Potion, by the way? I don't know, I always read Helican, even for the folds, and it's still burned in my brain somehow.
Well, just keep this in your mind. You know 2 languages, and I only know 1.
How's Jan?
So.
Yeah, so. Don John greater than Jason, confirmed.
No, let's not get ahead of ourselves. Okay, so Red Wolf, Eve of Harvest picked up, alternating current 2. He is deadly.
Yeah.
Jeez, he is deadly. 64 farm compared to 36. He's doubled Leia. That's ridiculous.
That's a ridiculous amount of cash he has in his pocket right now. And had already true-charged it, but... well, I don't really agree with Tony Lua on Taka with the tension bow. It looks like he's also going for Aftershock as well. That's, in my opinion, too much burst damage. And at the moment, he really can't pull it off because he's getting picked so fast out of a Yummy Catnip Frenzy mostly. And actually, Leia is, as you mentioned, so far behind, and Tony Lua is even further behind. So this is going to be super difficult for Team Fitzbellin to get. Not back into this game, they're not really far behind, but it seems that Red is way stronger at the moment.
It seems like every time I look at the scoreboard, there's another 1,000 gold added to the side of Red Team 1 as they're going in for another fight. They're looking for Bayou, and looking for Leia. And Leia, well, he will fall down just a few seconds, but this is looking good. They're able to pick up quite a few kills. Jetpack's being forced to run away. I think Red Wolf got caught out just a little bit too far, but Bayou, he might fall from this one.
Yeah, X-Retsu is up, but he has not enough energy to use it right now. It's now up, and he's probably going to secure the kill with it in a second. No, he used a Kiten, actually, and so he has not enough energy to use his Xretsu, and somehow Red Wolf managed to, Jetpacks managed to survive this.
And he saves the ace too.
Yeah.
Doesn't want to give that regen buff over to Spellin for them to go for a push. And that does allow him to keep control of this gold mine for a little bit longer. We're approaching that 15-minute mark when the Kraken does spawn in. But you can see just levels alone. Jetpack's level 11 to Tony level 9. Red Wolf a level 11 to Leia level 9. Even AD0 is actually just tied with Bios. Doesn't have that much of a lead, but that just shows you how big of a lead Red Team 1 has and how important that last fight was for Spellin able to pick up too.
Yeah, and Red needs to use that now because they're soon to be level 12, and as soon they are hitting level 12, Spellin is able to close the gap in terms of experience. So they really need to use that advantage at the moment, and they need to force team fights. And that's a good thing for Spellin, because if they need to force team fights, they might choose the wrong situation for actually initializing a team fight, and that could be, as we just saw, the possibility of picking 2 members of Team Red up and getting the gold back, basically closing the gap a bit.
Yeah, Red Wolf also needs to play this one. I think he's got a little bit cocky in that last fight. He was pushed up relatively far and then just got completely destroyed. But I feel like he's not going to make that same mistake again. And I was just looking through the abilities, what's been leveled up and whatnot, and actually look at Jetpacks. He leveled up his A and B to 5 before even leveling to level 2 of his ultimate.
Didn't even see that.
So he's he overdrived his A or B, and then just sitting on rank 1 of his ultimate. So he wants that pure raw damage instead of that cooldown reduction on the ult.
True.
So only extra bit of damage behind that too. And look at this. This is going to be deadly. Leia instantly bursted down. Bayou on half HP. Tony low. He's going to fall as well. They dive past the turret. And Jetpacks, he wants more. He wants Bayou, and he's taking the turret for a long, long time. Red Wolf is just trying to get in range, and he will finish it off. The whole team will escape. They will get the ace buff, and they will get themselves 2 turrets, I want to say, for this.
Yeah. And also Kraken is about to spawn. That means another gold payout. That means 600 gold at least out of 2 turrets, and then approximated 250 out of the gold miner, and that's nearly a K gold for, closely a K gold for every team member of Team Red, and that's not quite good for Spellin. But well, we will actually see if they're going to try, because we saw Red doing that a couple of times already, try to pick up Kraken as soon as she is spawning.
You know, we can think back to the bans as well. We had Cruel banned by Spellin, and we thought that would be really interesting to see how it would affect the team. And then we saw Scarf banned by Red Team 1. But to me, I feel like Red Team 1, their Scarf 80-0 hasn't really done that much. Like, he hasn't been that impactful or that scary.
Oh, he's just right now just saying, no, we are not doing Kraken. We are not doing it. No one is doing it, but they are. Actually, they are able, after 25 seconds in the fold. She's getting just captured and is now going to push for Team Red. They don't have a minion miner on each side, is both uncaptured. There's a Dragon Breath slowing the team members of Spellin. Leia is just standing there and burning to death. Red Wolf tries to connect the Sonic Zoom. Not happening. And then Xretsu in, Yummy Cat and Frenzy on top. Wait for it, over it to seal the deal. And this should... Let's not jump the gun, but that should be game.
I would say so. Leia, it seemed like he might have disconnected there. Tony has 20 seconds to go on his death timer. Kraken will 100-0 that turret very quickly. And Bayou, I mean, what is a Catherine going to do to stop a Kraken? Absolutely nothing. Just put a lot of scout traps just to hold them off. But there we go. The turret will fall. Leia's back in the game, looking for a Red Wolf, but he's getting pushed down relatively quickly. He will fall from this one. Bayou, he will fall too. No ace coming in, but that's going to be the game. And that will be Red Team 1 advancing into the finals to play against Team HC.
That's going to be interesting. I asked you that off-screen in the last break already. Who's going to be banned in the next match? Since we just saw actually a directly banned versus Jetpacks, which did not quite work in the end, since he's on a 4-0-9, so he did not die once on Koshka. But they banned him Cruel, which did not work out because they left Scarf open for 80-0, and well, that's going to be an hell of a match in the finals. Yeah,
I think we can both agree the bans did not really do much in that game.
No.
Again, I feel like 80-0 didn't really do much on the Scarf throughout the entire time. Yeah, he was a little bit of a threat, but in the early game, he got just destroyed time and time again. Like
he basically
died.
was just the threat.
Just, I think it was more of a mental thing than an actual result.
It worked in the end. They won the game.
Yeah, they won the game. They did. Very true.
That's all that matters in the end, right?
Yep. And that means we're going to head to a quick little break. But when we come back, we'll be kicking off the finals between Team HC and Red Team 1. It is the ESL Vainglory Cup Series number 4. And we'll be back, hopefully, in just a few. Hello everyone, welcome back to the ESL Vainglory Cup Series. I'm Jason Kaplan, joined by Dot and John, and now we're getting underway with our final here of Cup number 4. It's going to be an interesting game. Red Team 1 up against Team HC, and again, Team HC have surprised us today with an interesting composition yet again.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting if they're going to change a winning team with Glaive, Cruel, and Jewel. So I told them to get it going. We're already in the picking fest. We don't want you guys to wait up onto the
hop straight in there then.
Yeah, let's do that. Looks like, yeah, HC insta-locking, the same roles. Jewel, same player. Cruel, same player. And Glaive as well. On the other side, we have already Jetpacks. ADC and Red Wolf locked in as well. We do see a Koshka and Cruel on Jetpacks. As we mentioned, that got banned away from him actually in the match before versus Spellin. So we'll see. He's probably going for the same thing. We are probably going to see Red Wolf laning versus Best Celeste EU, probably both picking up a book, and Cruel is probably rushing Shiver Steel. And yeah, there's the book on Red Wolf, the book on Best Celeste EU. We have interesting fact, he started off with a Spectral Smite Jetpacks, has a Swifty Shooter, and then 80-0.
I think he's looking for a skirmish then.
Yeah.
Because I mean, he's going to have a stun out of 80-0 to lock them down, and then that Spectral Smite can get stacked up relatively quickly, but...
Interesting though, Red Wolf went not for the Pouncy Fun. He started with his B-skill, which is Treating Death, and it looks not like an early engage, both teams just going for the first jungle camp and then rotating.
I can kind of understand the B, or the swirl, just because you can push lane a little bit quicker, and I mean, we all know how hard it is to last hit under these turrets, so you force it under as quick as you can, and then Best Celeste does have the, I believe it's the B ability to help wave clear as well, but attacking from the back, smart play by Red Wolf there, and if you guys are not too familiar with Jewel, she has more armor when you attack from the front, and she's a lot squishier, especially in this latest patch from the backside, so already down to half HP, that's a good start.
I like that actually, that Jewel has that weak spot. Basically, it's quite, not a lot of players can pull it off to really try to attack from that side, but especially Red Wolf on a Koshka, who's really, really fast if he's once a bit stacked up on his heroic perk using his abilities. As you can see, he's a bit faster than, and actually he's a highly aggressive player, so we might see some Pouncy Funs into the back of Best Celeste.
Oh, Jetpacks though. Is he getting caught out? No, he's actually just trying to steal away some camps, and they do, in fact, lock it down, I believe. And Shizzle on Palmatoro forced to go back from this, but a little bit of damage being traded in there. And Jetpacks isn't done just yet. Palmatoro, he's got to be careful. He's taking a hefty amount of damage.
Ooh, what is happening in the lane though? Looked for a second like Red Wolf was going ham, but man, Shizzle needs to come already into lane. He needs to at least, well, he's not showing himself, but support mentally Best Celeste EU, since Red Wolf is farming quite good and getting actually a lot of harassment onto Best Celeste EU already. He's pinging right now, can't see Red Wolf. Be sure about that. That's always a good thing actually, to use that question mark as in like in ping and oh, my enemy on lane, he's not here, be careful, especially Red Wolf, really fast on Koshka.
I have to ask, have you seen the new Jewel skin?
Oh,
the Killer Jewel?
9000.
Yeah.
Killer Jewel 9000. Ooh, looks dope.
I know what you're going to be doing when you get home. Just plain Jewel. I mean, we've seen her so many times today. We've seen her build as crystal power, as weapon power.
Oh yeah.
And she's been pretty damn effective in both.
Yeah, I like that she's getting more attention in the fold at the moment, that there are more players actually in competitive choosing to play her. Oh, nicely timed Pouncing Fun onto the Scout Trap. Very, very well played by Red Wolf. Shizzle Manizzle and Palmataro both up in lane and trying to pick up Red Wolf here. There's the Deadman's Rush coming in. Is there a nice rocket leap?
That's miscommunication, hands
Palmataro
down.
did not expect that.
Yeah, and you know, you talked about Palmataro and how effective he was in his games earlier when they played against Collab, and his...
Collab was quite good. It was the match versus Red 2.
Yeah. Oh, it was Red 2?
Yeah.
No, it was a Collab one that you were pointing out, like his awesome awesome A abilities, but he hasn't done a single one just yet. Hasn't really landed any stuns, hasn't been able to get in, and you kind of have to wonder, that's what Glaive's really for, to be able to charge through and do that, and yet they aren't able to work around this comp just for now. But 80-0 getting caught out, a trap perfectly well placed, but he does fall. That's the first kill going over to Team HC. Jetpack's trying to kite The spite's being thrown by both Cruels, and that will be Shizzle going down just a few seconds. Red Wolf, though, he still has a lot of damage to give. Palmatoro on a sliver of HP. They're switching to him, and now Best Celeste trying to run away. Even the OK's being put in there, and he should fall. There's the ace coming in.
It's actually an ace buff.
Wow. And in 4 minutes' time, the only time we've ever seen that was when Collab was playing, and it's absolutely wrecked teams back and forth. I can't remember the team they were playing against off my head, but it turned into Collab losing their first turret because of how many aces happened without them even going to lane once.
Yeah, it's quite interesting. So it looks like at the moment that Jetpacks is once again going for the Shiver Steel, even, well, you can't see it quite yet. Yeah, it looks like it, since he is on an O-card yet as well, and you can build a Shiver Steel out of that. We'll see. He's also on a light armor, with this granting him a bit shield, a bit armor as well. So looking maybe for well, we'll see. Metal jacket. Maybe, but I don't really see a metal jacket. Maybe because Best Celeste EU, we saw him actually going for a heavy weapon as well. Let's just continue that later, since there's a team fight happening right now on screen, actually. A couple of stacks onto Red Wolf. He tries to escape then, and Shizzleman really don't want to follow up. Deadman's Rush onto Jetpacks. Jetpacks getting quite low. Spectral Smite is not doing the job, and there is a nice Rocket Leap, actually, pulling Team Red out of their Jetpacks. That's a bad spot, running out there.
Do you find it interesting that Red Wolf's actually building like full tank when he's been in the lane? We've seen a lot of players put their heroes as a big damage dealer when they ever go in the lane because they get so much extra gold income, but he's going straight tank with it so far.
Yeah, he's going tankier than before. He did actually went only for a book until minute 10 in the game. We saw him before laning with Koshka as well, but he ended up buying an Aftershock, if I'm not totally wrong. Right now it looks like he as well is on an light armor, and that's probably due to Best Celeste EU, because we saw how much damage out of that Thunderstrike is coming if it's turned on once. And Red Wolf again going ham. I don't know, blocked that poke though, that knockback there. Best Celeste EU gets in nice damage by Red Wolf through this ultimate. Palmotaro is going probably down. No, so close. Pouncy Fun should close the deal, but there's not enough energy.
He almost has it in just a second. There it is.
Yeah.
So they do get another kill. 4-1. Red team won. And they do have an 800 gold lead. Not as big as I thought that we'd have at this point in the game, but definitely a strong start for them. And you're shaking your head. What's going on?
Oh, no, I just checked something over there, so not quite shaking the head before, a bit because of someone doing something I don't quite understand. I mean, I'm curious though what Shizzleman is building this time. It looks like that he's also going for a Shiver Steel.
Whenever I see people stutter step like we just saw Jetpacks, I feel like half the time they're actually messing it up.
Stutter stepping?
Yeah. Because you just saw right there, like he did 3 or 4 attacks, but only one of them like actually hit.
Yeah, he cancelled those because he cancelled his animation way too early. It's not really possible anymore to stutter step. I don't know if you ever played during the time where stutter stepping was really legit happening, that you could actually attack faster during stutter stepping. At this time in the game, stutter stepping is only for moving and attacking, which would be kiting basically. There's a nice pickup of the gold miner actually. Team Red is able to get it. There's a afterburn coming in. Yummy Kidnap Frenzy and getting stunned out of that. Red Wolf out of a nice rocket leap, but Shizzleman is going down to the hands of not quite. There we go. Catherine 80. Another kill for Team Red, and this one goes to the bank of Jetpacks, getting his first blood, first kill in this match. It's not on a Shiver Steel yet. It's odd because we saw him actually finishing that Shiver Steel so fast, and we do have actually Shizzleman is finishing his Shiver Steel after he just died, and is on a 0-2-0 losing streak, or dying streak if you want to call it that way. It's interesting though. I do have the feeling that Jetpacks was really the first Cruel I ever saw going for that Shiver Steel, and now there are so many Cruels actually going for that Shiver Steel. And I don't quite think that HG Shizzleman did that in the other comps when they played Jewel, Cruel, and Glaive. Feels like the first time for him. Okay.
Well, we've seen how well it works out. It's the fact that you can keep someone slowed, you can stay next to him and get those extra auto attacks off. Not to mention it helps out with Best Celeste laning abilities and Palmatoro to get in there if he does need to. But again, a little bit more of a calm before the storm. 8.5 minutes in. Red Team 1's still sitting here with the lead. Actually quite a significant lead now, about 2.3 thousand. And Red Wolf still finally picks up, I think it was a crystal bit, and working up towards a little bit of damage. Maybe up towards the Aftershock.
Yeah, and he ended up buying an Atlas of Pauldron as well, an Atlas of Pauldron already on jetpacks. So both probably doing that. Yeah, well, they are doing that because of the Solar Blade already finished on Best Celeste EU. But it feels like quite comfortable for Team Red at the moment. It's the first time we see them actually that good, dominating. To be honest, I expected that happening already in the first couple of cups. But somehow they get their game together now. They are, if I'm not wrong, placed fifth. I'm not quite sure, fifth or fourth.
In Cup 1, they placed...
No, in general.
Oh, in general.
In general. So still under the top 8. And as you guys know, the top 8 are going to play in the finals. In the cup finals, basically.
Yeah, that all happens on June 12th.
Yeah, big prizes.
Indeed. And we've already seen, you know, some teams who did do as well early on in the cup season, starting to perform better and better. Red Team 1 and Team 2 had a strong start, but then they kind of fell out in Cup 2 and 3, not performing as well they liked. Didn't even place top 4. Red Wolf might get caught out. Stun's gonna be coming left, right, and center, but nice stun comes in for jetpacks to stop Palmatoro from doing any more damage. And that will keep Red Wolf alive. That tanky build is working out well for them. They're looking for the turn, and Shizzle, my nizzle, he might fall for this one. Red Wolf will survive the big red button. And Palmatoro, he most certainly will escape this with just that sliver of HP left. And Red Wolf has to be careful, just trying to heal with that Book of Eulogies.
That's one Thunderstrike.
I should have got rid of the book.
Oh yeah, he did.
Okay.
Oh, nice rocket leap. Not quite connecting. If he would have actually stunned Red Wolf there, I think Best Celeste EU has enough damage to kill him. One Thunderstrike, and he's basically history. I don't know if he wants to. Oh yeah, wonderful. I love those boots. Out of the bushes, into the backport, behind the tower. Jetpacks, Red Wolf just felt way too secure and getting picked.
Probably looking in the shop too.
Yeah.
You can't let those little things slip by, and that might cost him the gold mine as 80-0, and Jetpack's going to have to try to defend against this. Palmatoro to get the stun and knock him away. Jetpack, he has to get there to get his smite stacks up. Oh, he just saw them smite being used, but he's not going to try to contest to help out.
Well, they can't really do anything about them doing damage to the gold miner, and 2 worth of 3, rather just let them pick up the gold miner and not die. So probably a smart decision to Deadman's Rush out of there. Shadow Empower Me, that's what his heroic perk is called, which is giving him movement speed and attack speed. Oh, he has actually his Shiver Steel. Not bought yet. Interesting. He's instead going for an Atlas of Pauldron, as I mentioned already a couple of minutes ago. We do have a soon-to-be fountain on 80-0. It's a live spring at the moment, but it's going to be a fountain, and probably he has 660 gold, so it's not too far away. For him, Red Wolf plays, as we know, quite aggressive in the lane at the moment. Best Celeste EU did pick him up once. Jetpack is coming in. Rocket Leap out of there. Nothing he can do. Looks like actually a fight in the lane, a 3v3 fight in the lane. That's not too often happening in Vainglory lately.
I think Red Team 1 are trying to look towards the future, like, when can we hit this gold mine again? They want to wait till, obviously they're about to hit that 15-minute mark. Force out a big fight that they hopefully can win and take it and kind of get a nice big snowball. And Shizzle, he'll be split up by the flare. He'll back away from this.
Important flag on, though. If Red Wolf would have ran into that versus 3 members, Rocket Leap, maybe a Hurts Hurt out of Shizzle Manizzle could have been an easy pick, and getting Koshka out of there with an Aftershock, so wind up buying damage in the end, or burst damage out of the Aftershock, which is scaling on the basic health on the enemies. So there's Jetpacks going in actually onto Palmaro, standing actually Best Celeste use. Best Celeste use gets as well a Yummy Cat and Frenzy on top. Can't move quite nicely, but there's a nice Rocket Leap after she gets stunned. A big red button into Red Wolf and 80-0. 80-0 is going down, and as well is Best Celeste EU. Red Wolf is now quite low. We have Jetpacks stacking a couple of stacks onto Shizzle. His head is glowing, is going down, gets Spectral Smite, and if that is going to be an ace, that's going to be gold mine and at least 1 tower. Well, yeah, I believe so at least.
Well, they do have a decent amount of time to do this. I'm going to let Jetpacks just go back to finish off the gold mine as Red Wolf goes back towards the lane to push this one out. And like I said, I think that turret will be falling, and that will secure a much bigger lead for Red Team 1. Celeste, they'll return back to lane, but not sure much he can do about this turret.
Yeah, boots are there, but he should be fine destroying the tower, getting the gold miner as well. So a worthy teamfight there, picking up a lot of objective afterwards, and actually a bit of jungle farm as well. And you just mentioned that a couple minutes ago. He just cancelled a bunch of his auto attacks again due to stepping or stutter stepping.
Well, that's a 3,000 gold. Oh, actually, not anymore. It was a 3,000 gold lead. It's still getting really close. I mean, even though it says 10-3 in kills, I think this is probably one of the closest games we've had today, since most of them have been pretty one-sided stomps.
Well, we had one really close match.
And that came down to like one turret and nice little turnaround.
Yeah. That was hilarious, actually. I loved that. That double jewels, one crystal jewel and one weapon, and if crystal jewel is not hitting her big red button, it's basically not useless. Still has the rocket leap for stunning, but man, especially like big red button on a crystal Celeste combined with an Koshka on an aftershock and doing her yummy catnip frenzy.
Yeah, you don't move really that easily there. And then we saw once the ultimate had a Koshka, just an instant big red button across it to finish him off. But here we go, 15 minutes. Looks like Omai won't be contested, and we will see the Kraken finally show her ugly face in the finals.
It's a beauty.
I mean, I just have different tastes, I guess, in women than you.
There she is, hopping into the folds. Well, Red is not picking it up quite yet. Cruel is pinging it, though. He wants to do it. Jetpacks is hungry. He wants to steal that beautiful girl. So.
He wants to steal it. I'm waiting to see Jetpacks actually. Like, I've seen Cruel so many times lately just solo the Kraken.
Oh, all in the favorite jungle of who was it again? Who was sitting in the jungle all the time? In that bush, particular bush. Don't recall the name right now, but I don't know if they know that Red is sitting there. Ooh, Chiselmanizzle is trying to check it and it's getting bursted down basically. Yummy Catnip Frenzy even left for Palmatoro, and if he's going down, that is Kraken, and that is
There's still a big red button to worry about. I don't know if it's going to be enough. Even the 80s are just trying to force him back, though, and he's not going to be able to get in range from this.
Yeah, they know about that. They know about that big red button. I mean, for sure they know. So that's a sure Kraken, and that's a lane it's going to push since they also picked up Minion Miner. And so they have the backup of the Minion Miner. They have the backup of the beautiful blue woman pushing turrets as well. And we'll see how many turrets they will pick up in the end.
Just thinking of so many things that I could say that would probably end up getting me fired. I'm just not going to even bother thinking about it. But here we go. The Kraken's slowly pushing through. I don't know how much this Kraken's actually going to give Red Team 1 because it's already fallen relatively quickly. They're going to be a little bit scared to dive under this turret. And this one might fall, but I don't think the Kraken's going to survive a second.
It depends if they're going to... Well, big red button is now on cooldown, and there is a lot of damage onto Red Wolf. Yeah, I agree. All
right, so that's actually a gold increase for Team HC.
You see her best Celeste. You see that her Thunderstrike is on right now. 603 crits. Again, going for the build. 80 can't survive that. Again, going for a double Trine's Monocle. A Zero Blade. It's basically the same build she did in the last 2 matches.
If it ain't broke, why fix it? That's the same, and it's proven to be true. And you can see how much damage doing to that turret. It's 539. And nice block of the stun by Palmatoro coming in, and it will allow Celeste to actually secure the turret. Even nice little cheeky smiley face comes out of him.
Yeah, I like those sacrifices.
You know he's saying that was totally intentional, but that clearly was not intentional.
Do you think so?
I don't think that was intentional at all. Let's predict the stun coming in.
He probably predicted that he wanted to box him out of the animation of the From Hell's Hurt, but I mean that's perfectly actually, because he knows that he has not the damage to follow up and get the tower down, so he needs to secure Best Celeste in that moment, so he can actually pull another Thunderstrike and securing the tower. And I mean it's a beautiful move, but who knows? If we would have asked him now, he would probably
He'll totally say I did it on purpose.
Yeah, for sure. I mean,
I would say I did it on purpose.
So we'll see. Nothing is locked down. You guys saw how fast they melted Kraken, and all 6 members in the Kraken pit. The swords are glowing on Cruel and Celeste. Let's see who's going to start this. I would love to know who is pinging that exclamation mark there. Like who wants
I think
the
it's
fight and
just
who's
in general the server's like danger.
Danger.
It's letting us know that danger is a fight coming.
Oh, Yummy Cannon Frenzy onto a Rocket Leap. Red Wolf is a bit out of... Oh, that is such a nice from hell turret. There's a big red button onto Red Wolf as well. Best LSU's stunt is going down here to Jetpacks. Not quite yet. Red Wolf's low as well. There's actually...
How is he still alive?
Still alive. I don't get that. I mean, I thought Jetpacks is going to Speckle Smite him down. Jetpacks is somehow not be able to get Chisel Manizzle as well. He's getting down to a nice... I believe it was the ult... no, it was not the ult. It was Bloodsong from Palmatoro. And somehow they managed to get 2 kills on Team Red, coming back. And it's also due to that Best LSU lived through that attack from Jetpacks.
I think there was even some slows coming in from the Shiver Steel to Shizzle to keep Jetpacks away from him. And we pointed out earlier, Jetpacks doesn't have one himself, so he can't stick up or stick next to Celestin. I counted him dead, a long time ago in that fight. But either way, 6-12, goal difference is actually in favor of Team HC, and they're starting to turn this game back on.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting. Well, I do have the feeling that HC is going to pick up the next Kraken. And if so, is Jetpacks 80 and Red Wolf, are they able to burst it down as quickly as HC did it? And
I think so.
I mean, right
actually,
now
I don't know. Best Celeste is like full damage.
Yeah, agreed. And Jetpacks needs to stack first. So this is clearly a ping by Team HC. They know that Red needs to stay close to the Kraken pit because it's a danger that they could pick it up. There's Palmatoro going a bit deep into Jetpacks, unveiling his vision and going on to Best Celeste EU. Of course, that's the target. Rocket leaving just once up and down and stunning the whole team.
Who pulled the Kraken though? Who's the Kraken hitting?
Looks like Jetpacks is the target of the Kraken. No, it's actually Chisel Manizzle. Chisel Manizzle might go down to Kraken. It's actually Jetpacks getting the kill on to Chisel Manizzle. Now it's another Kraken. Seems to be a Kraken, a safe Kraken for Team Red. And yeah, with 1 minion miner and 2 members of Team HC down, this might be more than 1 tower.
It could be. It very well could be. You see how long those death timers are for Team HC. You see on the side of Red Team 1, they have the buff now from the Kraken.
And for sure, they are not waiting until the Kraken is connected with the turret.
Of course. Well, at least get 1 turret off of this. Will they get much more? Palmatoro kind of, I want to say, baited his team in that a little bit. Checking that bush and running straight back into the team. There they go. They're running straight for the turret, actually, with 8 seconds left on Shizzle. They're going to get 1. I don't know if they're going to go for the second. This is going to be a little bit dangerous, though, because...
Big red button is up.
It is. It's not going to connect too well, and they're starting to back away from this one, but the Kraken's still here. That should be 1 turret gone. As long as they're here to cause a little bit of a nuisance, the Kraken should finish off that turret. And are they going to stick around, or are they going to back away? And that's a big ultimate now down. I feel like they should just be here to help guide the Kraken in. Like, that turret's already a sliver of HP. Actually, is the turret going to fall anyways?
Let's check that. I just checked that Team Red is actually going back to base. I can't see that. No.
They could have. That would have been like a guaranteed turret.
Yeah.
They would have finished off with if they just stuck with the Kraken. They got 300 gold compared to 500 from that.
But now Jetpacks picked up 200 gold as well. In terms of gold, we are quite close together again. It's 1 tower. Well, barely 1 tower left for Team HC. So. Well, it's still quite open, to be honest, because it's just 1 ace for either team, and with that damage on Best LSU, he can burst down towers so fast. We saw that 600, 500 crits into the turrets. We'll see about that. It's basically everything is still open. Also that we have 3 towers on the one side of Team Red and only 1 blue tower left on Team HC.
Well, I think we're back to a little bit of a waiting game, but then again, Team HC is out of position. They could just zerg down this base. So that's being forced to back. Actually, the whole team going back. And they've pulled them out of the jungle. Instead of, face checking these bushes, they're like, all right, well, we'll just run straight into your base. This is going to force you to back away so we can guarantee see where you are. And again, this turret already so low on HP. I mean, anyway, will be cleaned up relatively quickly.
It's basically 1 Pouncy Fun and Deterring Death by Red Wolf. But, I mean, you don't want to sacrifice yourself for just 1 tower. They really need to pick someone off if they want to push it through. So if Red Wolf jumps in, gets stunned, rocket leaps, whatever, and he's dying in the end, he has probably a cooldown or a death timer of nearly a minute. And that's way too dangerous for just 1 tower, which you could easily pick up after a team fight.
Well, Jetpacks will be able to get away from that stun for Palmatoro. Flare is a very crucial part of this game. I feel like Palmatoro needs to buy some, but it doesn't matter. The fight's breaking out. Bexless gonna get a 2-man stun, and look at the damage! That was 1B off of him, and he almost instantly kills all of them. Red Bull trying to escape. Your mouth is wide open because you can't believe it, and that will be 2 kills. Will the third one come in? 80s are the last man alive. Will we see the ace? Can he catch back up to him?
He needs to survive.
He needs to, but I don't think he's going to be able to. The charge is going to be back up from Palmatoro. They're going to get around in front of him.
He's just playing with the timer right now, basically. That's all what he's doing there. Man, literally, my mouth was open like, what? That damage out of... I mean, clearly, that was a Thunderstrike, which was turned on. And...
That's not the only thing turned on after that fight. I can tell you that. If you know what I mean. Anyways, they're going back for the turrets, and I'm not sure they're going to have any time to come back from this. Team HC are going to secure themselves their first win in Cup number 4 as they do beat out on Team Red 1.
Okay, that is, to be honest, there's going to be a lot of dual players which are copying that build.
I mean,
GG. Wonderful. Wonderful game.
It was fantastic, and it secures them their victory. And we'll take a quick look in just a few seconds about the road to get here. But, I mean, that damage was ridiculous.
Yes.
And
I mean,
how do you fight against that?
They had triple fountain, they had double crucible, they had 2 Atlas of Pauldrons, a lot of defensive items, but they could not do nothing against a best LSU getting actually 2, or actually it was 1 Thunderstrike into the whole team of Red. Melting health bars. Well,
we had Team HC take down Joe Bro, Red Team 2, Collab, and Red Team 1. That is not an easy route to the finals, let alone winning the whole thing. That was stupendous out of them, and it means we... Oh, wrong button. That means we do have another winner. As Collab have been able to take down 2, we had Unknown take down 1, and now Team HC to get 1 for themselves. You have to wonder, where Unknown was throughout the entire day. Maybe they just didn't feel like signing up today. Maybe they couldn't field the players.
Yeah, tweet that at us, actually. That would be super interesting.
It would be good to know, because, points do matter. You don't want to go up against, potentially Collab in your first game of the day into the grand finals. But all in all,
I mean, especially cool if you did such a good job in the first 3 cups.
Yeah, very true. And
why throw that?
Yeah. Well, maybe we'll find out on Wednesday when we do come back and kick off the ESL Vainglory Cup Series. Don John, anything you have less to say before we do head off today?
As always, a pleasure casting with you, Jason.
Yeah, always good times. And all my buttons are hit correctly, so that means we can sign off. Thanks again, guys, for tuning in. Make sure to be here Wednesday at 7 p.m. CEST or 1900, or that is 10 o'clock over in West Coast PST. There we go. The tournament will be starting at 6 p.m., but the broadcast will be starting at 7. Hope you guys have a great night. Enjoy the rest of your Sunday, and we'll see you guys on Wednesday.
Hey, what's up?
원이다.